Evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Watts World. Hope all is well. Hope everybody had a productive and prosperous week. I know it was a beautiful day here today. Wasn't too bad. It was kind of an early day. I think we got up to about, I don't know, it was about 83, 84 here today and sunny. Nice little breeze. TGIF. I don't know. See if anybody's still awake, you know. They might have done took their multivitamin and the warm milk. Yeah, I know the weather's nice. I'm itching to get out and about and exploring this weekend, seeing what's happening. There you go, Virginia. You are number one. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Well, you just keep on lurking. I'm gonna drop the link at some point. It's good to see you, though. Cheryl, Bonnie, all my lurkers. Sometimes I love my lurkers more, you know? You gotta love the lurkers because you don't really know who they are. So it's like that mysterious love, you know? I like it. I don't know. You know me, you know how my brain can wander. It's the show about everything and nothing at the same time. Episode V. We made it to the fifth episode. It's usually the part of the show when you have a serious plot twist, you know? Something usually happens about this part in the season. So, hey, some people say that, you know. I appreciate it. If it's better than Seinfeld, you know, I'm winning. I don't even need a daytime Emmy, you know? You just give me the nighttime Emmy. If there even is one, we'll just create one. Yeah, check it out. See what's going on out there in Texas. There's a lot going on everywhere. I mean, I'm pretty sure at some point we've seen all the trending headlines of what's going on, who's going where. It's definitely a lot to take in, I guess. But I hope all is well in y'all's neck of the woods. Hopefully it's starting to look more like spring and a lot less cold and gloomy. Yeah, over the next 10 days, it shows it kind of just gradually getting warmer. I think a couple of days next week, they're calling for the 90s. Shoot, I might have to crank up the AC. If it gets into the 90s, we'll see. Mm, not the manipulation of the weather. Lauren Price, good evening. Yeah. Nah, it could get that wild, but not this early, you know. You got to give it time to warm up, you know. Give it about an hour, who knows? Who knows what might happen within the first hour? Lily J, it's good to see you. I hope all is well. I hope all of y'all are safe from the storms. I heard some storms is kicking off different areas. Hope everybody's safe and aware of what's going on. Shoot. Yeah, it's for the safety. It's for the safety, of course. Dang. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't tracked a whole lot of events today. It's Friday. I'm pretty sure they dropped something. Oh, this is the non-behavior zone. You know, feel free to misbehave. You know, it's encouraged. B, I didn't even know I was live. I just hit the button. You know, sometimes I just accidentally hit the button and things happen. You know, but everybody's pressing all the buttons. I figured I might as well just press a few. You know, and see what happens. You know what I mean? Really throw them off. But it's good to see you. I hope all is well. Bet it was warm down there in Florida. I know it was warm here today. Sorry about that. I'm back. Yeah, it's Friday. You can act up a little bit. You know what I mean? You don't get deemed any social credit score points here. In fact, I think you might actually get a couple. I think you might actually get like a dozen or so, you know, just for showing up. They give you a dozen social credit score points now. Yeah, it's still in the 70s here. It feels awesome outside. Mm. D, it's good to see you. I hope all is well out there on the West Coast. Sometimes you got to take a day off, B. You know, I'm going to take the weekend off. I got a couple events tomorrow I'm going to go check out. But, let's see here. Bear with me, y'all. It's Friday. It's been a long week. Hopefully, this doesn't kick me out. Camo, long time no see. Feels like I haven't seen you in ages, man. What's going on? You got to stop hiding from us. Lauren, good evening. I hope all is well. Yeah, no crazy weather here. I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky. That's right, Carl. Who? He's so camouflaged we can't even see him. So what's going on in y'all's neck of the woods? What's the big plans for the weekend? What's happening? What's not happening? What's going on? There's this I guess you call it an estate sale. I'm not exactly sure if it's like an estate sale or it's like a one big huge yard sale in this neighborhood. I'm gonna go check out tomorrow. It's they usually have some nicer things, different things they're selling. So I plan on getting up and checking that out first thing in the morning. Always find some goodies in those type of deals. Nice. All the way from Alaska. Well, that's good. Spend some time with the family. Shoot, coming down here from Alaska, she'll be burning up. Ken, it's good to see you, buddy. I hope all is well. Yeah, come down there and get a Florida tan. Man, they have spring break early. They don't do the they don't get out for spring break in my area till next month. This time next month will be spring break. Mm, I guess they do it different times. Yeah, spring break in my area for all the schools is always the same week as Masters golf tournament. So some of the parents or whatever that rent their homes out, they'll just take the family and the kids and go out of town and go on vacation. Rent their house out for the week. Way down to the Rio Grande. Nah, that's too far south. Oh yeah, the bike week. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I think the last it's been a while since I went to a bike week. I think the last bike week I went to was like in Myrtle Beach. That's been a long time ago. Yeah, that's too far. That's 200 miles from nowhere. Man, Even in all my time traveling trials, I just don't know if I can calculate that right now. Some things are just uncalculatable. We got all type of man. We got all type of yahoos and wazoos and whatsabands and flagrants coming in the back. Hold on, we got to do a.
What is going? That's a song. I can't figure out what it's from. We go north to Alaska, way down to the Rio Grande. What? What's that from? Bugging me now.
Sounds like a musical. I don't like musicals.
I don't know about that. Really?
Yeah, that sounds like a musical, like Oklahoma the musical or something.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Why would I know that? If it's a musical, why would I know
I
the
don't know.
lyrics?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure what it's from. Pretty sure I've heard it at some point. I don't know.
Yeah. This is bugging me right now. So that's going to be our code for now. Like what we show each other to know it's us.
Yeah, I still don't know it's you. I'm just taking a chance right now. This could be some highly advanced AI. You know what I mean?
That's tricky. It'd be tricky.
I mean, heck, if they just cloning Jim Carrey, I mean, everything's on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. You think if you could like clone somebody and grew them that fast that they're gonna have their shit together? Don't you think they're gonna have like a third arm or weird twitches or something?
There's always gonna, to whatever level it could go, there's always gonna be a level of imperfection. You know, just being created by man. You know.
Where where is Dolly the sheep right now? I
Oh
meant to go
shoot,
look
they're
that up.
like on shoot Dolly 10. They got more Dolly the Sheeps than Dolly Parton's got upgrades. You know.
Well,
Shoot.
I want to find out how long it lived. You know, because like in some of them movies, you know, you clone something and then it blows up. You know what I mean? So how long does this stuff last? Like in the Clone Wars, right? In the Clone Wars, you had to grow them and train them and get them ready, 20 years before you needed them. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know cloning is possible. They did it. But
Allegedly,
I mean, but like to grow one out of a petri dish in time to use them as a body double, I don't know. That's where I mean, I guess that would explain why Biden acted the way he did. Like some stupid robot. Yeah,
it's like uh,
well,
anything in
70.
the early trial stages, and whenever they released it, whenever that what was that the 90s or whatever when they talked about the Dolly, that's not even like the trial stages. That's like long after. That's like, hey, we got something successful enough of a subject that we feel like we could release to the public, and maybe they won't freak out about it. You know what I mean? So
Oh,
that's
that's right.
decades of research to even get to that point. You know, before you even can talk about it. And
You
like
know that.
most things, by the time they talk about it and we hear about it, it's already been put into action to some degree, or it's already happened or has happened. You know,
Absolutely. It's like they say about military tech and hardware. I've had, military tell me, look, whatever you've got, the military has it 30 years advanced. All right. And there's an example of this. During the first Gulf War, we had a satellite that was designed to detect troop movement. And they said that it was, at the time, they told us that it was good enough to, you could put three grapefruits on your picnic table in your backyard. And if you moved one of them, we'd know it. All right. Well, and then later, like 20 years later, they go, well, actually, if it was the size of a dime and you moved it, we'd know it. So they were like sandbagging even then.
yeah, yeah. I don't like to give those. I don't like to give too many of those type of entities more power than they have or than they deserve, I guess, in a way. But yeah, it's definitely on a different level than what we see. You know, they have to, I guess, doing what they do, they have to stay somewhat ahead for the misconception or the
Well,
different tactics. You know
before
what I mean?
and yeah, and it's been like you said, things been going on a long time that most people don't know about. But even like before the internet, the our country had this system that it was designed to detect certain words and phrases within phone calls. So the whole United States was really being, semi monitored. All right. If you said a certain word, maybe Glock or explosion or something like that, that would trigger a system that would route that call to a recording place, and it would record those phone calls because of keywords. And it got pretty advanced to where, that's how they were detecting terrorists and stuff like this, apparently, criminals, maybe, who knows. But that has transferred over now to the internet, to where before they were doing it just off the phone systems. Now they got the internet, and everybody's phone, and everybody's everything. Smart refrigerators are going to tattle on you if you ain't careful.
It's funny you say that because I think it was called the Michelangelo virus. I think that's what it was called, and that was a factoid in today's history when I was looking through the archives. I think it was today in 1992. It was the Michelangelo computer virus, and allegedly it caused a lot of people and stuff to freak out because it was, they said, over 5 million computers and stuff would crash. To think of what computers and what they were doing in the early 90s, is a lot different than now, but still. Um, and I think after all was said and done, I think it affected like uh, in the thousands. It wasn't in the millions or whatever they projected, but allegedly it caused a big frenzy. And I think it was called the Michelangelo virus, deemed after Michelangelo because it was released on his birthday. Allegedly, Michelangelo's birthday is today. The Italian
Did it do?
sculptor painter. You know,
Yeah, did it do as much damage as they thought it was gonna?
no. Uh, from the reports, of course, I was a kid when all this happened. I didn't even know about it, so I looked it up. But of course, the reports I found, they estimated that it would be from like 5 to 10 million computers nationwide, or whatever that would have been affected. But allegedly, it only ended up being like maybe 10 or 12,000, something like that. I mean, it was still a lot, even back then. But it was nowhere near as bad. They thought it was. Uh, Almost, I guess, the way like we thought maybe, or some people thought Y2K would be. It was that kind of, I guess, mindset in a way.
Good one, Sigma. And Bonnie, I can't hit on that link. I don't know what we were wrong about, but I don't doubt it. I'm not always right. I mean, I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken. Anybody catch that? I love that one. I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
Excuse me. Man,
I just saw a picture somebody rendered, Sigma. It was senior Mutant Ninja Turtles. They're all old now.
I don't know,
Well, they're not teenagers anymore. They're old now.
but but yeah, I don't know. I guess kind of
Yeah.
cloning or whatever. Whenever it became like a topic, it's always been like a interesting topic. We've all seen it in a movie or a show or something like that. But yeah, I've always, you know, to what level could it be? If they could do it, how long would something like that last? I don't believe it would be a forever thing, and I don't think it would be like an instant knowledge thing. You would still have
What
to
is
teach it to some
forever?
degree.
What can you tell me that we know of, other than God, that is forever?
What's that?
I said, what other than God Himself can we? What is forever? Nothing really lasts forever.
I think maybe, I don't know. I think we would be forever in a way, no matter what it would be happens after here. You know, maybe our energy or our spirit, no matter what
That's
happens
the
to us,
possibility. Yes,
we
that's the
don't have that
possibility.
like uh uh we don't have the forever existence like God has or the Creator has. You know, the beginning, the end, the Alpha and the Omega. You know, at all times, at every time. You
What,
know,
right, but what
um,
Bonnie said, the soul,
yeah,
you
like our
know,
soul, our existence. You know,
right.
whatever it is that makes us human or in His image. You know.
Can we do some kind of like hearing test for Cheryl? You know, we got any way that we could do a hearing test on here? Like, if she can hear high pitches or low ones, or I don't know. I'm just teasing her. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. Mm.
Yeah, I don't. Every time I went to one of those things, they said, "I'm sorry, we're going to need to do some more tests," and I just never went back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, see, now they're ganging up on me. B says they can't hear me neither. It might be just the way I was talking. I was talking low and a little bit far from the phone. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you somewhat, which of course I know what I hear on my end is different than what they would hear on their end sometimes. You know, because there's been times vice versa when I couldn't hear and then someone else could. So I don't know.
Well, they're saying it's better now. I'm
Okay,
trying.
you
I'm
might have to
trying.
write. You might have to get a dry erase board and write some things down.
Yeah, I had one, and there's no room for it around here. I did have one though.
Yeah, all mine are filled up right now.
I
Can't
should get an
afford to erase it. It's too much data.
well, I should get an etch a sketch because those are like a little more portable. I could probably carry one of those around.
There you go. By the time you get a full sentence out, the broadcast to be over. You know what I mean? It'd be
I don't
like
know. I was pretty
the
good.
end, or is it?
Hey man, I was pretty good on those. I could draw circles and shit. If you could
Dude,
do a circle, if
the
you
only
could do
thing
a
I could draw
circle,
up on that thing was frustration. You know, then years later, I found the internet and got online and seen that there was people that could was like the Michelangelo of the Etch a Sketch. You know what I mean? They was drawing the most detailed and configured. I'm like, man, how did you even figure that you could even do that? You know,
uh-huh.
they're drawing full portraits of Benjamin Franklin on the Etch a Sketch. You know, like who are these people? America's Got Talent.
Usually people like that spend a lot of time in prison. I've seen them make things out of matches you wouldn't believe. I've seen like a whole castle once made out of
Oh
stick
no,
matches.
man. It's just they got it. Whatever it is, they got it. I didn't have that gene.
Well, you got to have time on your hands. You know, there's been a couple times in my life where I did have time on my hands, and you got to come up with something to do. You know, and I've started some pretty intricate, tedious projects in my life, right? You know, where you have this image, and then when you start on it, it seems easy at first. Then you start adding the details to it, and you realize, oh shit, I'm going to be here for weeks. You know, you ever done that?
Yeah,
When I was
like
young, all right, my mom used to go to a store all the time called Benjamin Franklin. All right, and they sold all kinds of crafts things. I remember you could buy like popsicle sticks and bags for crafts and
mhm.
cork and all kinds of weird materials that you couldn't find anywhere else. Leather scraps and bags and shit. But her thing is she started collecting this dollhouse furniture, and it I didn't realize what she had going there. All right. One day I opened up this trunk in the basement and it was packed with dollhouse furniture and accessories. And I'm talking, you know, a big trunk, and those things are little tiny boxes, like a little miniature Singer sewing machine, a real porcelain bathtub with a sink matching in a toilet, and all this. I mean, she had hundreds of these things, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make her a dollhouse. So I set on this mission to secretly make her a dollhouse in the basement that we both lived at the same house in, which it was working fine because I had my own little workshop and I could hide it pretty good when I was keeping it in pieces. But then when I put it together, I had to hide it from her. All right. And then I cut her off from that side of the basement so she couldn't find it because I was going to give it to her at Christmas. And, anyways, I made this thing.
Hmm.
It was 4 foot by 4 foot by 3.5 foot tall. All right. Now, and the scale of this, I went a little overboard on and wasn't thinking, of course, but it had 3 stories. I had staircases in it. I had hand carved little banisters. Terry cloth towels make a really nice carpeting. All right, it's the same scale. It looks just like carpeting. So I got towels and cut those up in different colors. I put electrical lighting in it. Put the transformer up into the attic. And I used popsicle sticks to do the siding because the siding was the right scale to use. I cut the ends off of hundreds of popsicle sticks till they're flat. Used them as siding. Sanded them down. Stained them up. And then that Benjamin Franklin sold little bags of miniature dollhouse furniture, like cedar shake shingles, scale sized. So I bought bags of those because the roof was pretty big and the roof hinged open to where you could get inside it. And then the front of the house hinged open to where you could get at all the rooms. So I did all this work. And like I said, it took weeks, weeks of work, brother. And I finally got it to where it was all done and stuff. And she loved it. And she got to mess with it quite a bit. But I was living down south when she had to move. All right. She sold that house, got a different house. And when she moved, people came in and said, it doesn't fit through the door. And it, they said they had to cut it in half to get it out of the house. And when it got cut in half, it got taken to my sister's place and put up in the attic of a barn. And I've never seen it since. They wouldn't show it to me. I imagine they destroyed it. And I never got to see it again, and my mom never got to use it again. But I made it too big to get it out of the house. My mistake.
Man.
Yo, Bonnie knows what I'm talking about. She knows Ben Franklin and Wins. Yep. And I did. It was a mansion. It was big. But she had so much shit that a regular size one wouldn't have done. What's up, Vicky?
Yeah, they might have had those stores in my area, before my day. There ain't no
Yeah, I think
telling.
pretty sure at least Ben Franklin went out of business in Michigan. Sometimes they go out of business in different states, but remain there in others.
Shoot. And sometimes they go away and come right back. Like last year, one of the big lots here was closing. They made a big deal. They was going out of business. Everything must go. And then 2 weeks later, they're putting the sign back up. We're coming back. Re-grand opening. I said,
Yeah,
man. I said, what type of gimmicks y'all running?
yeah.
Y'all doing like real life clickbait. You're just doing a fake shutdown just to get people to come in.
I got to try something completely new today. That buddy of mine, the old upholsterer, that he still sells stuff online just to take walk-ins. His shop's not really open. If you needed a Harley Davidson seat skin cover for any kind of Harley Davidson, and you looked it up on eBay, you'd probably find him first because he's like world renowned for his seat covers. He's been selling them for years. He does speaker pods and elephant ears and all kinds of like stuff for bikes, and he does it, mail order. But he came and got me today and took me to the new restaurant in town, and it was being built. It looked done all winter. It looked like it was ready to go, but didn't open. And the town has been talking about it for months. When's it gonna open? When is it gonna open? Well, the place opened up like a week ago. It's called Popeye's Chicken. You ever heard of Popeye's Chicken?
Oh yeah, the Popeyes chicken. Yeah, we got those down here.
Well, we went there today, and I got, I don't know, I forget what, some kind of box. It was called something about had shrimp, like a buttered biscuit in there. The best macaroni and cheese I've been able to buy anywhere ever. All right. I don't know how they did it, but next time I go there, I want to see if they got big tubs of macaroni and cheese because it was just little itty bitty thing. It was like a fucking tease.
Yeah, you don't remember a couple years ago, man? It was that was one of the other apocalypses that happened, man. When Popeyes came out with the chicken sandwich, man, people was going nuts over it. Popeyes and KFC, they was in a chicken war, man. People was losing their lives over that sandwich. I refused
Wow.
to even try it, dude. I did not want to be that guy. You know, you go through the line, get the last one, and they say, sorry, he got the last one, you know?
You're missing out, dude. It was the first time I've eaten shrimp and I don't know how long. Even the cocktail sauce was good with it. And the buttered biscuit, My buddy Leroy, he picked up and says, "What the heck is that?" I said, "That's a buttered biscuit." He said, "What?" I said, "Taste it." He goes, "Oh, wow." It was pretty good. He's been pretty cool to me lately. He's been picking me up every now and then and taking me out. We'll try something like that. That's a that's a good friend to have.
There you go.
Chick-fil-A. That's what Vicky's saying. I've heard of that one too. Never been to a Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A. Oh, man, around here, shoot. The Chick-fil-A, I mean, they're always doing business. They're never not busy. You know, it's just nonstop.
Well, here's what I told Leroy. I said, I'm glad we're trying it now because we've done this a few times. If they come out with something new, try it in the beginning because it's always really good in the beginning. If somebody comes
Oh,
out with a
yeah.
new sandwich or something, for the first couple of months, man, that shit was good. And then it's like they get lazy with it, or shrinkflation kicks in, or some shit happens to
It
where it's
does.
like,
They get
man,
you in the door, you know.
right, right. It's
But at
like
least in the
maybe,
beginning, everything's fresh. The kitchen's fresh. Everything's new. The grease is fresh. You know what I mean?
yes, exactly. B. When I remember when that happened, when the McRib, man, when it first came out, man, back in the early '80s, it was good, man. I ate me hundreds of those, but then it like lost
Never
its
tried it.
appeal. They quit making it, and then they brought it back. It wasn't the same.
Never tried to make rib. But coming up in the
Well,
'90s and stuff, I remember the hype. Always hearing the hype. You know, whenever they brought the McRib back, oh, I got to go get the McRib.
I am not endorsing that type of behavior. I don't think I'd eat one now. But back in the day,
I'm like, man, yeah, I never tried the McRib.
they were bigger, man. It was like they toasted the bun and shit. And then when later on, I was getting them, the buns were soggy and it wasn't the same. It
Yeah,
was
it's like
like,
a stiff, sloppy Joe. I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't like it.
man, we talk about food. You get the chats going. Anybody talk about food? You want to get people talking about it. There it
See
is.
what you did? You caused an all-out food war.
Yeah, I've seen that too, where somebody said, "Oh no, you shouldn't eat that. I don't like that," and they're like, "What? That's fucking un-American, man. I'm banning you." It's like, how dare you say that about that? You know what I mean? It's like you.
Somebody
It's
need
like
to get
Alabama.
banished.
It's like the thing with you and Alabama. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Who's talking about Alabama? Somebody need to get banished. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm pretty free flowing with the thoughts and ideas. You know,
Try to keep an
most
open
things don't
mind.
really rub me the wrong way.
Wow, we just got called the best two sounding dudes on the net. That's a
I'll
wow.
take that. I'll take that as a win.
So will I, Terry. Thank you.
You know what I mean? I'll put an
Wait a
extra
minute.
feather in my cap.
Oh no, I just had a thought.
Be
I've noticed a
careful.
lot lately, but I've noticed that sometimes when they butter you up, they're just preparing to feed on you. You know what I mean? It's like they butter you up and build up your confidence, and then they let you.
One thing about it, if you're ready to go, you ain't got to get ready. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to.
That
I'm trying
eliminates
to
at least
hold
10
you.
minutes right there. You know, you're already ahead of the game 10 minutes. They didn't even account for that 10 minutes that you had. Shoot,
Yeah.
they thought they're showing up early. They're 5 minutes late.
Hmm. I think we're
Shit.
in the same time zone, aren't we? What time is it right now there? It's 11:18 here.
Yeah, I think so. I think they do say that here.
Huh. Maybe that's why we get along so well. We're in the same time zone.
I'm here. I'm in like 5 different time zones right now. And tomorrow the time shifts again. We lose an hour. Allegedly, we lose an hour tomorrow night.
That's multiverse multitasking. Say that fast 3 times.
I do. Thought about putting that on a T-shirt.
You're gonna have a lot of T-shirts, man.
I do. That's like yeah. Allegedly, yeah. The time goes. We spring forward tomorrow. How you feel about that? What's your thoughts on that?
I'll tell you when we get there. I don't know. I'm kind of unopinionated right now over that.
Yeah.
Whataburger, Vicky, I thought that was fake. All right. I think it was in some comedy movie I saw, probably about potheads or something, and there was a Whataburger scene where this guy's like, "Welcome to Whataburger," and Whataburger, and he says Whataburger like 19 times.
Now
And
you might be thinking of the movie Good Burger. Welcome to Good
oh
Burger, home
yeah,
of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
wow, I am. I'm mixing. You're right. Nice catch. Thank you, man. Because I did when I first heard you guys talking about Whataburger. I'm like, oh yeah, that's wait a minute, that's a fictional
That
place, right?
skit, yeah, it was a skit with
Oh yeah, you're right.
I can't
It
remember
was.
their names, but yeah. And then the dude, he
Yeah.
always went into his spiel. He loved orange soda, you know. I mean, it was just yeah.
Wow, man. See, that was I've been thinking wrong for a couple of years, man.
But nah,
Yeah.
just recently, well, last year, I tried the franchise Whataburger for the first time when I went up to Athens. I tried it. It was pretty good. But as a kid, we had this local place. It was called Whataburger, but it was spelled different than the franchise way. And man, they had the best everything. There was two of them here locally, but somehow allegedly they got into something. The big franchise Whataburger found out about it. They got into some type of dispute, and they just kind of did away with it, both of them. They just said the heck with it, you know.
Cola said Keenan, and it set me off. Keenan Wayne.
Yeah, Keenan and Kel. That's what it was. Keenan and Kel. Yep. I think it was a skit on the Nickelodeon channel back in the day. Um,
Well, some of these places like Rallies and Checkers are the same restaurant, different names.
yeah, we got Checkers here. Yeah,
I
Rallies and
like
Checkers.
Checkers.
There's things. Their menus the same. Yeah, we had
That's the
Checkers here.
I don't know about the prices there, but you know, here the cheapest meal for that deal that you can get is at Checkers. It's for $5. You get one of three different burgers or a chicken sandwich, the fries, a pretty good apple pie, and a drink for $5. And there's just nothing cheaper around here that good. That's the cheapest you could eat around here, man. In
Now,
my eyes.
when I did, I haven't ate none of those fast food places in forever. But when I did used to like Checkers fries from time to time because their fries was always different than everybody else. You know, they had the seasoned fries.
Yes, and it's the only fries I've ever got from a fast food place that you can reheat and they're still good.
They
You
do
ever
something
notice
to it. It's NASA
They,
technology.
I think it's real potatoes is what the deal is. If you ever tried to reheat McDonald's fries, no matter what you do to them, in a skillet, in the oven, in a microwave, they don't taste as good as they did. You lose it, you know. But them Checkers fries, you can heat those up in a skillet, or I do it on a piece of foil right on the wood stove. They come
Burger
out.
King, in my opinion, I haven't had their food in years, but they had the worst fries. Like I never had a good Burger King fry ever in my life. You know, it was just I don't know. They didn't have the right ratio of It was a bad ratio. It was horrible, in my opinion.
Yeah. I don't do Burger King. That's the one place that I've literally gotten food poisoning twice from them.
I think I did one
So,
time. That's why I stopped going there. Something happened.
yeah, I should have
Yeah,
walked
it was
right in there
bad,
and
dude.
puked all over the counter, dude. Because I've eaten that there once. I got immediately sick within 15 minutes after eating. I was puking it all up, which is a good thing when you get food poisoning because you're still sick afterwards. But if you keep it in, it's going to be worse. And then the second time, I'd already left. But if I would have. If that would have happened to me while I was still on the premises, I would have ran in there just to puke on them, those fuckers.
Damn.
The only thing I have trouble, I don't really do McDonald's and I don't do Burger King at all, and I haven't done it in a long time. But if I needed flushed, I go to Taco Bell because that's the only food that goes right through me, man.
Man,
That
I can't handle that. Shoot, no. Oof.
well, it's better than like getting an enema or something. Somebody sticking something up there. You just eat Taco Bell and it works the same.
Yeah, I just try not to think about none of it. I try not to even get to that level. So I just
Taco
try to
Bell.
level down just so I don't have to level up at that time, you know? Just back up and
I
punt.
ask an elderly Mexican gal what she thinks about Taco Bell. All right,
Dude,
because
I remember as a kid going in there the few times we went, I never seen any Mexican people at the Taco Bell, so that's how I knew it wasn't right. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. So you start putting shit together because
I knew that as a
once
kid. I'm like, no
yeah,
offense, but I don't see my Latino brothers in here, man. What's going on? They're not partaking south of the border. The bell ain't ringing for them.
now if you've actually had dinner with a Mexican family, then you really fucking know that ain't even Mexican food at Taco Bell.
No, that's like can't even really call it Tex-Mex. You know what I mean? You don't even really want to put that on Texas. You
No,
know,
my mom loved that shit, boy. If you ever opened up
but
the original ZZ Top album, Tres Hombres, you remember you opened up that double album, and you remember the picture that took up both sides of that
I have no
opening
idea.
album. It is the most scrumptious looking Mexican ensemble of food that you can imagine. It's a whole table of
An
real
album cover with
tamales.
food in it.
It's on the inside. When you open up the double album, all right, the itself, the 33 album sleeve, all that, it's a green album. But when you
Huh?
open it up, the whole picture in there is a true Mexican meal. All right. I'll see.
Where they come
If
up with
you
this
ain't
stuff,
seen that,
man?
I will find it on the internet later on and send that to you because it's
There
worth
you go.
seeing.
And what was the name of the album?
Tres Hombres.
Tres Hombres.
Yeah, that's it's their third one. They had ZZ Top's first
I wonder
album,
what
The
that
Duelos.
translates to. Tres Hombres.
It's the third
What's-
three dude. It's
Yeah,
three dudes.
three friends.
Yeah, but you got let's see, the first album you got Fandango, De Guelo, El Loco, Tres Hombres, and I'm missing one. Uh, those were the first seven ZZ Top albums, and then in the '80s when MTV happened, it got all, she's got a leg. It changed, all right? ZZ Top changed. The guys are the same, but man, they went somewhere else with it.
Monkey Reels. I appreciate you being here. It's the off season, so all people's welcome here. You know what I mean? It's the off season.
It's
Even the
I'm getting out of
Alabamians,
that.
all the
Dude,
Alabamanites, they're even welcome.
I feel like I survived the off season, man. Winter's gone. I think I'm pretty sure we're done with the below zero shit. And I feel like I survived winter, which, is kind of making me a little cocky. I mean,
Now don't get too
maybe.
cocky. You know what I mean? You remember the Great Blizzard of '78? You know what I mean? You got halfway through April and they never saw
I
it coming,
have,
bro.
I have pictures of snowbanks taller than the big V plow trucks that were plowing the roads. The snowbanks in that blizzard they went up to the roof of our house. you had to make tunnels to get your car out of the garage. You had to dig your way. If your door of your house swung outward, you were screwed. You had to go out your
Yeah.
windows.
You didn't think about that until it happened. Yeah, you can't open it with tons of snow on it.
No.
Mm. Yeah, I've never experienced it, but I mean, I've seen videos and stuff of it.
Well, for me, it
You
was a
already know we
blast.
get
I
2 inches
literally
here and
made
everything's dead.
I made giant caves that even Watt could have danced in.
You know I'm a dancer.
Right.
I have to check it out. Yeah, I like that one. I have to ask my mom which one we went to as a kid. It was a set of caves. I can't remember where it was at. I don't know if it was in
Merrimack,
Virginia or North
Mammoth.
Carolina.
There's Merrimack, Mammoth Cave, Carlsbad Caverns. Those are the three big ones.
It was either in Virginia or North Carolina, one of those two. I just can't
Well,
remember which state.
they got some over, yeah, but they're the three
I
big
need to
ones.
look
There's
it up. I think it might have been near Lambsburg, Virginia. I don't know if there's a cave system near there, but that
I'm
was the
sure
general area we were in.
I think those ones. There's a bunch of little ones around there, but the three big ones, and I've been to them, man. They're some of them are huge, man. They go hundreds of miles and stuff. But there's Mammoth Caves. Merrimack Caverns is where Jesse and Frank James hid out and hid their shit, had a little hideaway. And then
That'd
there's
be cool to check
Carlsbad.
out.
Yeah, it was cool. When I was a kid, they had a shack sitting out right outside in front of the cave entrance. And this old man sat in a rocking chair, sitting there smoking his pipe. And you could see through the cracks of the wood when you got close to the shack. Kids would walk up and look through the cracks. You could see this old man in there, and they swore that was Jesse James. And there was all kinds of articles and stuff about him. He's one of those guys that swore he was Jesse James. And he used to sit there as a tourist attraction when I was a kid. I shit you not. I remember that.
I mean, you had to have been something, to whenever he was doing his thing to now, people still know the name Jesse James. Remember there was a show, remember the biker guy that had the show on Discovery Channel, the History Channel, the Jesse James bikes. Remember him?
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think he was allegedly I think he was allegedly from that bloodline. Like he was a Jesse James.
Me too, Terry. I so much appreciate that. My mom used to take me to those places. If we went, like, we'd go from Michigan to Texas. We'd stop everywhere. Every roadside attraction, I got to look at it at least once. That's why.
Yeah.
That's how I like to travel. That's what. That's what I want to do. I don't want to beeline anywhere. I don't want to be in a hurry. Like Bonnie was talking about, snoop around, see what you can find.
Shoot, no. Yeah, you gotta take your time for sure.
Take the scenic route. Get the hell away from the cities. I do that too, man. I try to go back way as far as I can. I'll hug the waterway or something, just to stay away from the cities.
Yeah, it has its time, but it just ain't right now.
I gotta go in there. I gotta go in there. But like go last time I went to Missouri, we sidestepped St. Louis because it's a madhouse there. The highways there are just crazy. So I just went a little bit over to that side and avoided it all.
I didn't stop in St. Louis, but I've been through St. Louis, well around it, close enough to see it, acknowledge it.
That's another thing they had. When I was a kid, I took a ride. We went all the way up in the top of that St. Louis Arch. You could go all the way to the top up there. I think they closed it down, but you used to be able to like sit in this like almost like a little train car or something, and it would take you all the way up there. You could look through these little windows. That thing's huge,
Yeah,
dude. That's fucking up there. That's like 300 feet up there or something. Long ways.
Yeah, I think at one time you could do that. But yeah, I don't know if you can do that anymore.
You know, back in the 1900s.
Yeah, I missed the 1900s, man. Man, the 1900s.
Oh, wait
Back
a
in
minute.
my day.
Sigma's saying you still can do it.
But there you
Could
go. There's still hope.
Boy, that thing's probably an ancient rattle trap by now. It made weird noises
Well,
and
I'm
shit
not
when I
going up
did.
it. I'm not going up there. I'm gonna get a shot from the ground. You know.
I want to inspect that motherfucker before I just go riding on that thing now. I want to see if it's
Oh,
taken care
I'm
of.
gonna do a ground check. I'm gonna do a ground inspection. You do the aerial.
Right on. All right. Okay. I did work heights. I can. Well, you know what, Watt? I got stories about
That's
that
too
because
confined, and it's too much working against me. You know what I mean? It's not worth it.
no, I get it. And you see, this is the thing. I did do that shit. There's something about people with Native American blood and something. It like takes away the heights thing. That's why they got a lot of Native Americans that
You
work
remember
heights.
when London Bridge fell? You heard about that when London Bridge fell? You heard about the guy
Which
that caused
one?
it to happen?
Which one?
The London Bridge. You know when they say London
No,
Bridge is
but which
falling.
one? Which one though? There's
That's what I'm
more than
saying.
one.
That you don't even know who did it. They had totally erased that guy from history. You know, I don't want to be the guy that brought down the arch. You
Well,
know,
they got there's another London Bridge in Las Vegas, man. Did you
in
know that?
Arizona, they moved it to
Yeah.
Arizona.
Okay, all right. Because I know there was another one. That was
Uh,
another weird story. What the hell is that for? You know, it seems like a lot of resources to build something like that just for the novelty of it. But all right,
I forget the city in Arizona, but yes, in Arizona,
yeah, okay. I haven't been over there yet. See, I've been to like 35, 36 states. None of them over there by the Rockies. I haven't been over the
Arizona's
Rockies.
interesting.
I have not been on the West Coast. I need to see that shit before I leave this fucking planet. I want to see the
Tombstone,
Grand
I think it
Canyon.
has the world's largest. It may be the largest in the United States or the world's largest. It's the largest rose bush. It's in Tombstone, Arizona. It's just this massive rose bush and this massive 100-foot different canopy. It's a pretty interesting
Hmm.
story how it got there. But yeah, I don't know if it's in the world, but it's definitely the biggest in the United States.
Interesting. No, I gotta see. I want to see them other states, and number one out of all the shit I want to see that I haven't seen is the Grand Canyon, and I got a plan.
Yeah,
I'm never been one to like go to where the tourists go. Really, I mean, like I'm not going to take a tourist tour of the Grand Canyon. I want nothing to do with that. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it with what I want to do it with. You know what I mean? I don't want to be on somebody's schedule and got to meet here and go to the bus to get over there. Fuck that. I found a place where you could ask nicely to the reservation right there, and if they like you, they'll let you go right down to the river or right down in the canyon with your vehicle, and you can camp out for free down there.
oh wow, that's awesome. Pat Evans says she sat under that rose bush.
Yeah, cool.
How about that? Yeah.
Ooh, here comes the thunder again.
Yeah, on those little tours like that, I mean, they're going to show you certain things, but it's going to be like the generic thing, you know, you know,
I'm the guy that'll probably sneak in there at night when nobody's there because I'd rather see it by myself. I don't want to be with a bunch of strangers. That's just the way I've always been.
or like allegedly the different caves and things that were found and they was deemed unsafe and, you know, you can't go there. You know, areas of the I forget how many
There
square
is.
miles of the Grand Canyons is off limits.
Well, there's quite a few things, and there's some weird shit there. And when nobody knows why it's off limit, I mean, nothing can fly, drones aren't allowed. There's a lot of talk about things that have been found there in the Grand Canyon. Really, no hard evidence, but man, there's been some wild claims that they found there in the Grand Canyon, and it does look like they're trying to hide something, but it's Could be military, could be something like that.
Hmm.
But there's something going on there.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't
We'll
know.
see.
Shit like that comes out sometimes. Like, remember when Alex Jones stormed the Bohemian Grove and exposed all that weirdness?
Bohemian grows interesting.
You never seen that? Oh, that's a must watch.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember that one. Yeah. They're going after the frogs, Carl. They're turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like the impression.
Can't do that for too long. That's like trying to do Macho Man, Just
Well,
do a little bit at a time. You can't go into a whole monologue of him.
I have said that he reminds me of a professional wrestler sometimes.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
man, he can give a hell of a promo, like the old school 80s
Mhm.
wrestling promos.
Yeah, I mean, should have seen him on the night of the 2020 election when it was stolen. You should have seen him then. I think that's the most animate I've ever seen him, and that's saying something if you know him.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a clip or something from that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he went haywire. All right, he went haywire. Uh, and you got to give him this much. I don't care if you like him, you hate him, you trust him, or you don't. But what I'm going to say is he's the first real big name that got deplatformed all the way around. All right. They went hard at him. He was like the first sign of what we are under today with all the, blacklisting and censoring and bullshit they fed us. He was like the first real sign of they didn't give a fuck.
Ain't no telling. I was on a job site the other day and somebody put an InfoWars sticker on the outside of the portal. I said, damn, they're spreading the message.
I got my
You know?
info sticker probably 10 years ago. No, longer than 10 years. Probably 15 years ago is when I got my
Alex
info.
Jones was here.
I got a InfoWars T-shirt. It's my black one. It says "Don't tread on me" with the snake on the front. What's cool is back then when you order something from him, he gave me a free pocket Constitution, dude, a nice one.
There you go. A little bonus.
And I really think that he has. I give him a percentage of credit for exposing Hillary Clinton and keeping that wench from winning.
Ain't no
He
telling.
was he was so anti-Hillary. That's where the term came from. He invented Hillary. All right. He's wrote his songs about he famously exposed her as who she is. Benghazi, all of it. All right. But nobody gives him credit for that. He opened a lot of eyes about her.
I do find, he's an interesting character. If nothing else.
I know truthers and conservatives and right wing people that just can't stand him. People are, it's not like I idolize him or nothing, but he's actually entertained me before.
Yeah,
So
he's interesting.
is he possibly an operative or something? Maybe. I don't know. Is he possibly that dude that disappeared that he looks just like that? There's a whole conspiracy theory. It says he's really Bill something. His name was Bill.
Huh, man.
You know, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff behind that, but gotta love a good rabbit hole, right? I
Ain't no
put him in the
telling.
same. I'd put him in the same category as the Q boards. It might not all be true, but at least made people think.
you know, I think there may be always some form of truth in anything, you know what I mean? No matter how it's presented or what, you know.
Yeah, that's true too. But also keep in mind that the best lies contain an element of truth.
And then you just, I don't know. It's just try to, I look at a lot of them as like characters, you know. I see how things just kind of pan out, you know, see what they say sometimes.
Right. See, now I've done that with Alex Jones for like the last 15 years. It's been a weird thing to watch. You see what I'm saying?
Too much. It's too much for my small little humanoid brain to comprehend.
Oh, I don't know. There is, I guess you got to choose what input you're going to plug in. You know what I mean? There is a point to that. Like, I've absolutely not listened to any mainstream media in years. We're going on 9 years that I refuse to watch CNN, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, and then I did watch Fox up until 2020, and then I refuse to watch anything that says Fox on it now.
I don't watch them directly. I mean, I watch them indirectly. You know, from time to time, I'll see somebody cover a story, or you know,
Same,
or
same.
I'll see a clip, you know, in the shorts or whatever. But
Mm-hmm. I can
yeah,
say the same. Yep. But I don't. Well, I haven't had a TV since 2008 for one, and didn't use it much before that because I got disgusted with it, you know. And I used to call it depression at 11 because that's when the news came on, 11 at night, and you know it was only a half an hour, 45 minutes of news, and then you'd watch the Tonight Show or whatever the hell was on, and it wasn't like you were flooded with it. But now we've
Yes,
got
it was.
24-hour coverage of the whole planet, you know, at the tip of our fingers. What's up, Bonnie? Long time no see.
Hi, guys. Been a while. um, yes, they did. In that 30 minutes, well, it was about 15 minutes, they would pack in the worst of the worst, everything, the worst things that happened that day. Boom. And then you got the weather and sports.
yeah. Oh, don't forget the lottery. The lottery. Gotta get your cash 5. Man,
Yeah. I hope it doesn't thunderstorm, but they're saying.
I know that's true, Pat. And you know, I've heard several people voice concerns like that, and maybe even you know Trump was captured too. And like it's all just part of the movie or whatever's going on. But also keep in mind that they've used body doubles for decades, successfully in a lot of cases where people had no clue, but it's to protect the individual or you know for whatever it is. And that's always been possible, and the mask technology is there. So you know at this point you can't. It can't. I don't trust everything I see. That's for dang sure. Just because it's on the internet, no, it doesn't make it true. This is a squirrely, weird fucking world. Look at this shit with Jim Carrey come out. It wasn't even him, and everybody knew it. And it's almost like, wait a minute, did they do that intentionally to check everybody? Like who posted something about that? The Truman Show or something where they okay put in the double and see if the audience you know recognizes it. There's this is a fucking weird thing going on here. I've seen at least 3 fucking Bidens, 3 different Hillarys. I saw a parade here a couple years back with Hillary and Bill walking in it, and that wasn't fucking them. You know, so
yeah, we went from uh what was it, a couple years back, the video that you talked about that people saw on the internet would look like her started getting freaked out and they throwed her in the back of the van. You know, we went from that in that timeline or whatever episode we were on that to her at the alleged deposition looking like she was like 20 or 30 years younger,
Yes.
what
Yeah, I
type
like
of
that Cola. That's where I did see it. Cola posted that thing. Yeah, I knew the scene was wrong because we are at that fucking point. We all know we've been deceived our whole lives,
the
but now,
true man show. I
yeah,
mean, in the
The
okay,
age
devil.
of deception, you have to be able to see the true man, whatever they're
Yes.
trying to show you.
The devil's playground, deception.
oh, what a wicked web
But
we
even the movie The
weave.
Truman Show, I mean, it could go. I mean, you could go a lot of different ways on that one, just more than just face value. Pretty interesting.
Look, man, in the beginning of all this malarkey here after 2020, remember, everybody noticed, wait a minute, that's weird. There's a crack in the Oval Office. The corner, the set's not together right. There's actually a crack there. And, oh, no, nobody would admit that it was a fake Oval Office. And then a few months later, they're like, oh, yeah, there's multiple filming locations we use. There's more than one White House. And it's like, no big fucking deal. Yeah, right. That's just like that Fireball fucking whiskey shit. All right. When that came out, people said, "Oh, there's antifreeze in that," and they said for 3-something years that no, there's no antifreeze in there. And then finally, they come out and they admit, "Oh, well, there is this chemical that's the same thing that we use in antifreeze," and so there's fucking antifreeze in there, and now they admit it. But no, it's such a small dose that it won't hurt you.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. A little bit's okay.
Like the little tiny bit of Roundup that we're all ingesting. And
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then you hear these stories about people who have used cyanide in food, just a tiny bit, but those people usually don't make it.
Well, I've noticed the strange behavior from people who drink a lot of that damn Fireball. If a dog drinks fucking antifreeze, it's like the same thing as being rabid. Their fucking brain cooks and they get real mean. What's going on here, gal?
I like Fireball. That's the cinnamon flavor one, right?
Yeah, I think they got a
I
couple
like
flavors.
cinnamon flavor, but I don't like cinnamon flavored drinks. I don't like to drink the cinnamon. So yeah, I was never a big fan of that one.
My kids drink quite a bit of the Fireball.
I can't take it.
What's going on, Jerry?
Too much fire. But
weirdos. Hey, Jerry.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too picky,
No, maybe you're being health conscious.
No.
Well,
that ain't it.
That's not it.
It's undiagnosable. You can't diagnose the undiagnosable. Just can't do it.
But we're still here.
Are we?
We think.
We're in the void. We're in the Friday night void.
Well, when I started doubting everything, and I didn't know what was real, I started pinching people, but that didn't go over too well. They don't like that much.
Yeah, I don't play that game. Not the pinching game.
Well, it's a good way to find out if they're real.
There has to be a dual initiation of that game. You can't just start it off. It's like playing tag. You can't just say tag, you're it. You got to let somebody know, hey, we're going to play tag.
No, it's just like you said. Some people are just unpinchable.
I am. I may be. You got to catch me. If you're fast enough to catch me, you may deserve it.
That's why I got this. Mhm.
Jerry, what you just said, I feel like, we something's flipping, man. I mean, something's changed where it's like the momentum of reality is starting to push against all that fakery. Like it ain't over yet, but there's definitely some resistance going on. I feel it. I see it. I hear it. I hope. And it's like, Watt knows. Once you get something moving, you start pushing on a car, you start moving. You got to keep going, man, to get it to go.
Hmm.
It's easier when you keep going.
Pop the
When you
clutch.
first start out, to start this thing.
I know what you mean. My name's still on the wall at my middle school for the 500 and 1,000 pound club.
Wait a minute. You mean that's what you weigh or that's what you lift?
No, that's what you had to lift. To get in the 500 pound club, you had to have a bench press, a squat, and a deadlift to combine 500 or more. And the
Yeah.
1,000 pound was the same thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't do 1,000. I couldn't do 1,000. I know that.
I
It
used
was a,
to could do pretty good with the bench press, but upper body, no.
it was
My
a
leg.
few
I
of us that made it to the 500 pound, but it wasn't but a handful of us that made the 1,000 pound.
Yeah, my actually the way I lifted weights is different. I did a lot of curls and reverse curls, but I did speed lifting where I'd lift it 10 times in a few seconds there, and I did a lot of with dumbbell weights. I still can probably. I could take 45-pound dead dumbbells, hold them out in front of me, and just hold them there, and then spread your arms apart like you're opening your wings there, keeping them level. And I'd take them, and you know what I'm talking about, Watt, where you just hold them straight out in front of you, and then you fan your arms forward and
Yeah,
backwards. I like that one a lot. And I could do, like I said, at one point I could do like 50 pounds each hand doing that. And that could, if you do that enough, it enables you could take a 150-pound dude right off his feet by his coat. All right, even if you're only 6'1" like me, you don't have to be a giant like Watt to get that kind of strength. It's called core
it
strength.
gives you a solid core, you know.
That's what it is.
Because
I went.
keeping your arms out is working your arm muscles, but also your abs and all your core muscles and stuff. Your back muscles have to stabilize and keep stabilized, you know. So I mean, it's working your whole core.
Absolutely, and I can tell now that you know what you're talking about because it's like I've showed people. It's like the hardest push-up there is. All right, and you like you were going to do a push-up regular, but you make a triangle with your hands where your
Yeah,
nose is.
diamond.
All right, and then you go one hand up, and then another hand over that one, and another hand over that one 3 times, and do a one-handed push-up like that. And if you can do it, that means that you're using every muscle from your pinky to your little toe. All right, and you're using it a lot. That's a pure test of core strength.
Dude, my wrestling coach could do that, man. He was an old school dude. He was old. I mean, he was the silver fox, you know, nothing but gray hair, but man, he still had a little bit of, he still had something left in the tank. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's this
yeah.
guy on Facebook. Ladies, y'all need to listen up. His name is James Lay, and he does, oh my goodness, he can do that. He can do anything. He is solid rock, head to toe. There isn't anything he can't do. And he does the most amazing things that takes all that muscle, and he makes it look so easy though, like he's just sliding across the floor, or and he's on one hand just jumping, just his
What was that guy's
toes.
name? The old guy that exercised, Jack something. What was that guy? Jack. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
Yes, I
yeah.
can't
I know you're
remember.
talking about. Yeah, I can't think of his last name.
Always wear that weird polyester pants and polo shirt
Yeah,
type
he
thing.
do the little. He jump up in the air at the end with the little freeze frame.
Oh, this guy don't wear no polyester pants. Those jeans. Ooh. No
Bonnie,
shirt. Cheryl's the one that hooked me up to. Just saying.
LaLanne, yeah, thank you, Sigma. Jack LaLanne.
Yeah, Jack LaLanne. There you go.
It may be like powder blue matching, polyester pants and shirt.
A
He'd
little
be
like a
working.
sweatsuit.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't even like a sweatsuit. It was like he had them custom made or something. He had a weird outfit.
Like a leisure suit.
Look
Yeah,
at Cheryl
yeah,
chat.
kind of like parts of a leisure outfit. Exactly. All he needed was a sport coat. And he could go golfing or
Yeah.
anywhere.
A couple more gold rings. Yeah.
What's his name? Texas Ranger. Dickin.
Chuck
Whoa.
Norris.
Yes, Chuck Norris. He's still pretty good too.
Yeah.
know, how old is he now?
Watch my videos or nothing. I do. I can do exercises nobody can. Very few people can do.
How old is he?
When
Gotta be, I don't know.
I don't know about you, but in my prime, which I'm not too far off, but I could still just do this shit up into my 30s and 40s. But I used to be able to do like 75 push-ups a minute and like 72 or 73 sit-ups a minute.
It's still a good workout. If you're able to do it, it's still a good workout.
He
I
is
don't.
80,
I'm not even going to try it now at this age, but I used to be able to do that shit.
he's 85 years old, y'all.
Yeah, I was thinking like 83. Damn, man, he's 85, man.
Yes.
The eyes of a ranger are behind you.
He's still going. Oh God, Richard Simmons. Ew.
Is he still, Richard Simmons still with us?
No, I think he died.
Again?
I think he got a disease. Let me look.
Nah, they couldn't have Mandela Richard Simmons, man. He's unmandelable.
I'm pretty sure they're both dead. Richard
I
Simmons.
think he's getting ready to go on a world tour again.
Richard Simmons and who?
And Jack LaLanne.
Yep,
Jack LaLanne was old in the 80s. All right. If Jack LaLanne was still alive, there's something fishy going on.
Richard Simmons died July 13th, 2024.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's almost 2 years ago.
Yep.
Damn, they got Richard.
Let me see. He was born July 12th, 1948. Isn't that odd?
Man, he had to have been up there because he was putting out tapes in the 70s and the 80s.
Sweating to the oldies came out, I think, in the 80s.
Let's see.
Hey.
It's not.
I mean,
I think his VHS tape single-handedly resaved the headband industry. You know what I mean? It was all but gone until he came back.
Well, I'm just thinking, that hairstyle he had, I think probably did originate in the 70s. It just carried on through the 80s and 90s, right?
Yeah.
And
he was trying to pull off that Bob Ross. Didn't really quite have it.
He died of heart disease. He was 5'7".
Yeah,
I figured he was kind of a shorter guy. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Jack LaLanne was short too.
That's a foot shorter than me.
I am sure that Richard Simmons at some point in time did wear one of those terry cloth headbands, because I can picture that shit too. Or was it Pauly Shore that wore the headbands that was throwing us off? Because they kind of had the same hairdo.
No, Richard Simmons wore a headband. They cannot tell me he did not. Hang on.
Man, they're Mandela and headbands now? Dang.
No. Bonnie just put the law down.
Okay, none of these pictures he is wearing a headband. But I swear he wore a headband
This is where
along with
the
the wrist.
internet deception comes in, Bonnie. These
That's
Along
where
searches
with
we're
have
at.
been modified for your entertainment. All right, listen. Back if
Mhm.
you would have looked at Richard Simmons headband like probably 5 years ago, you probably would have found plenty of them. But now, if it's a thing, they scrubbed that shit. You gotta really look. You can't go by that term. You have to go Richard Simmons in 1979 or something like that, and then you'll find the truth.
Yeah,
well,
you
see,
can't even remember the 1900s anymore.
he's got the wristbands on. I know he was wearing the wristbands and the headband.
Mm. The
Golly.
Yeah,
Mandela
he was
effect.
pretty.
It's
Yeah,
it's
Oh,
easy
ew.
it's easy to perpetuate something like the Mandela effect when you have the internet that you can edit for that purpose. You know what I mean?
ain't no telling.
I don't know. It is telling because I did some research on this, and the Mandela effect didn't happen until the internet happened.
Not one single image is he wearing a headband. Unreal.
But
Huh.
I think that's just because you're looking on the internet. Look up Richard Simmons like in 1981 or something. Just say Richard Simmons 1981 and look at those images. Try it year by year. Different keywords and key searches will bring you different results. I've told people about my, eBay hunting I did for 25 years and how I learned about keywords and how to use different phrases to get different results. Back in the day when the internet first started, all right, I'm telling you, back in the mid 90s, there was a game. There was a game that internet browsing that the idea was to look up a word or a phrase to get the least amount of hits because you used to be able to like look up any random word and you would find some results, but if you added another word to it there would be no results. So if you did that to one thing and they recognized you were looking for something, they would add that result. And I watched the evolution of this to where you could look, I don't know, look what you could say, standing bass guitar, all right? And back in the day, there'd be a few hits, very little, all right? If you use standing bass, you might even get more because it's not really a guitar. So then by now, you might, like I said, you might have got 100 results in the 90s for looking that up. Nowadays, you hit that, you've got 9 million results, So,
They widen the algorithm, more words and stuff in there. More
yeah, it's a
hashtags or
growing.
whatnot.
Yes, it's a
Uh,
growing entity. It really is.
yeah,
No
the more
headband.
detailed, the better for sure.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. You're making me mad here. All right.
How many different ways
Head
is there to say something too, Watt? Like there's different words
and
for the same thing. So when you do searches like that, you got to keep that in mind. Maybe
I
using a
knew.
foreign term, you know?
I remember it was. I don't know. It was over a decade ago. Uh, probably a little bit longer than that. When I was in the Carpenters Union, one of the guys that worked with us, he started out as just like a regular carpenter, but man, he was smart. Man, he knew all type of stuff. He did a lot of different things, but uh, he said one of the things he did on the side where he said he could make some good money at is he did things. He built like websites or certain things with people. And that's one of the things that he talked about then was the keywords and stuff for companies. So when people start looking it up on Google and all that, their their searches gets pulled to the top because now they got more recognition. You know, uh, they're doing concrete work, so he's putting in concrete, driveways, sidewalks, custom work, all those little keywords and hashtags that people would possibly look into their search that would lead him and get those whatever company hired him to get them to the top of the list. That's what he did
Oh,
on the side.
exactly. Like, same thing I did for the titling of my auctions for years and years on eBay. And it was a learned experience, all right? Because, I'll give you an example because I told you before, I was world known for selling G.I. Joes, vintage 1964 to 1970 G.I. Joes. And if you use the right terminology to sell an item like vintage, original 1964 GI Joe military, and you kept using all these words in the title, and then you put it in the correct category, every dude, and you were a power seller, which I was a power seller. When you looked that shit up, any like GI Joe's 1964, boom, mine was the first one they saw. All right, that's how that keyword works.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I kind
Okay,
of
if you
figured
look
that was
it
eventually going to become a thing.
up, if you look it up, Richard Simmons headband, then it shows him wearing a headband.
Aha, you broke the algorithm. Good girl.
Yep.
Yeah, I got lost for a minute. I forgot what we was even trying to find.
It
Good, I'm
showed
glad it
all
was
his
verified.
fans.
Whew. I got lost there for a minute. I didn't even want to ask. I was hoping somebody would give me a hint.
Boom.
It showed
What
all of
Jerry
his
said,
fans
man.
wearing headbands also, like to copy him, whatever.
What Jerry just said.
What?
They're trying
Yeah.
to mine.
Absolutely.
Thinking about Michael Jordan. I didn't even know. Hey, got Michael.
I think the fucking internet, there's been people out there that have been just playing a psychological game with us for some kind of university research division that the government gave them billions of dollars of funding to fucking play with us. That's
Maybe
what I
it's
think. That kind of shit really
Nah,
goes
they
on.
wouldn't do nothing like that, man.
Yeah, I
No,
know. Sure, I
they
know.
wouldn't do nothing like that with billions and trillions of untrackable funds.
maybe they're trying to see how good our memory is if they're microwaving stuff, things, whatever they got going on is working or not.
Yeah, we need to hurry up and bring out 7G. They're catching on too quick. Bring on the 7G. Oh,
I
it's
can't believe
beyond
this.
that.
I can't even believe this channel's still up, man.
I don't know. It's everything and nothing at the same time. What do you want?
I like that, man. That's a good motto.
It can go wherever you want it to go. That's the beauty of it. Viewer and panelist input, wherever you want it to go. Bring it up. It can be discussed.
But that historically speaking, the greatest achievements, works of art, and works by man were done in the most stressful, worst times. Like, think about the Renaissance, but think about the art that came out of it, the suffering that era experienced.
Maybe some
So
form of
maybe,
transition, maybe. You know,
yeah, so maybe,
like an
as
age.
fucked up as the world is, and as much as everybody's suffering through it, maybe we're gonna get some fantastic,
What
something
age are
out of it.
we in now? I don't even know. What age is
I think
this?
it's the age of finding out. I call it the age of finding out. We just came out of the age of fucking around, and now we're in the age of finding out.
I used to hear people say the age of Aquarius. Are we still in that or no?
Oh man, that was a long time ago,
Of
brother.
course.
This is the
Oh man,
dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius.
you know how we have the
Aquarius.
you know, the different ages or the different periods in time. You know, what period is this?
Well, I think it's the fucking age of finding out. All right, we were in the age of fuckery, fakeness, and fucking around, and now we're in the age of finding out. Ask the Iranians ask the Ayatollah what age we're in. He found out.
I don't know. It just seems like a lot of A lot of reruns.
Mhm.
Yeah, it has been the way it has been. I agree.
Yep. Repeat, repeat. Do it again. Repeat.
Groundhog Day.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah, man. Can't
what
even get
is
no
the
bread no more. It's just a lot of
definition?
circuses.
What is the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over, we're getting the same results.
I'm expecting something different.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I think like in any type of situation, sometimes the outcome that's perceived is maybe not ultimately the true outcome, whatever it may be. You know, it may be something that we may not understand. Or we understand to a certain degree. We understand what's presented, but
Okay,
I
that
don't
that
know.
question, James, I gotta say, I can take this two ways. I'm thinking of they're getting ready to auction the rhinoceros that Jim Carrey was birthed out of in that movie, The Pet Detective. You ever seen that? I think they're getting ready to auction that. I heard something about that. That's the first thing I thought of. But then I think you're talking about that, the damaged right wing of the bird, right?
Well, I
Is that what
think
you
the
mean?
value of whoever owns the mask from when he made the mask movie would probably be the most valuable prop now.
Right.
Well, yeah,
You own that
right.
one, dude. It's priceless now.
Because they are like vending machines, aren't they? That you put money in and you get some junk candy out of them. So I think he's talking about the rhinos in the Republican Party, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. He just did it in code in such a way. I'd be like, I go a
The
couple right.
rhinos, the donkeys, the elephants, and the rhinos.
Yeah, I
Who
don't
is
know, man. Close it all.
Well, just the rhinos at least got a horn. It's got some type of defense in the
that?
animal kingdom. Donkey has just got a mean back kick. Elephant, shoot,
We all know
it'll
that
do
they're
something
ass.
to you.
Those ain't donkeys. We all know those are assholes. I mean, assholes.
We'll either have what's the next party gonna be? It's probably either gonna be a giraffe or a bear.
No, Russia's got the bear. We can't use that.
Yeah, we can't do the. But yeah, that's hell no. We damn right we can't have the bear. Shit no.
if he
Tiger,
wants,
he can't have the tiger.
if he gets
Uh,
his, it'll be the
That's
lion.
China. China's got the tiger. We can't use the tiger.
no, we can't do the tiger. We definitely can't do. I don't know. No, we can't have the eye of the tiger.
Lion.
A lion? Is a lion safe?
Now,
Can we use a lion?
now you're feeding right into Trump's hand because that's what he
No, we
likes.
can't use the lion. You're right. That's too much hand play.
Well,
Damn.
This is more complicated than
Come
you
on,
thought,
man.
huh?
that's what I said.
No, it
That's
had
what.
dark, and we can't think of another animal.
Well, you haven't even mentioned the eagle. I like the eagle.
That could be an option.
I mean, think about it. It's like, and they're a lot bigger than you think. When they get up close,
Nothing else,
they're
and it
real.
hits the fan, it could just fly away. Leave all the land dwellers alone.
Living for the day of the eagle and the dove.
Like I don't know.
I just glitched out with Robin Trower because she said dove after I said eagle, and I thought of the eagle and the dove.
There you go.
Living in the day of the eagle and the dove. You know that song, right? That's a jam. That whole album's good. Bridge of Sighs, Robin Trower.
Mm. Huh.
Carl, was it you that said you had to eat the heart of a deer?
You want to hear a story again? I'll tell the story again. All right. When I was young, I was like, 8 years old, and these older guys that were friends of the family took me deer hunting with them, and they were going to use me like a dog. All right, I'm the one they're going to send into the bush, so I kick the deer out and they shoot them. Simple as that. So we went out to their spot. They'd been watching this shit, and they knew there was a big buck. They were all three of them after this big buck, and they sent me down into the ravine, and it was like a bramble. I remember, fighting my way through the brush and shit, thorns, no fun at fucking all. But they went off onto the ridges around me, and I get in the middle of the shit, and I come up on a small little clearing, just right in front of a big tree, and I mean, just enough area where you could set up a tent or something, maybe. But as I'm getting through there, I look up, and there's an 8-point deer walking out right next to that big tree, and all I did was, like, as fast as I could, I had this double barrel 12 gauge J.C. Higgins double barrel 12 gauge. It could only use paper shells with black powder, and it was a beast. And you had your finger anywhere near the second trigger, both barrels are going to go off. All right, and this thing, the first time I shot it, it put me on my back. It put a lot of bruises on my friend's arms and the whole night. It was a mule. All right. Anyways, I jerked that fucking 12 gauge up and blew the fucking front leg right off of that deer. He fell right there on his face, dead as a doornail, blew his heart right out of his cavity. He was dead. And it was an accident, really, because I did mean to shoot him. But when I brought the gun up, it hit the brush behind me, and my fingers were on the trigger. Boom. I didn't even get to aim. It was like a lucky shot. And they were kind of mad. All right, because I took their deer and I fucking mutilated it. All right, I mean, there was still a lot of good meat on it, but they picked up the heart pieces and said, "Up," because you got to eat it, man. That's the way it is. This is the way the Indians did it. This is what you got to do when you first kill your first kill, just like the Indian braves did. You got to eat that heart. You got to take a bite, man. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And I ate that. I took a good bite of that fucking warm heart and ate it.
So why is it shocking that humans would do that to humans?
Well, because that's just fucking cannibalism. It's not on the same spectrum at all. You're gonna have to put those people down. They're gonna get that kuru or something nasty. You can't have that in the tribe. Fuck that.
Mm-hmm. I just think they've been doing that for a long time too.
It does taste like iron, Sigma.
Well, it probably is.
Yeah. Certain beliefs or certain practices do certain things that they feel that would give them favorable outcomes,
Well, I believe that God put these creatures on earth for our subsistence, and I have always treated them with respect and thanked the Creator for what I receive. And I might even have a little sorrow for the critter. If you ever looked into the eyes of one before they're dead, it's not really enjoyable. The venison burger is great, but there's some parts of it that's kind of nasty. It's gutting a deer is not really fun. It's a job. You got to know what the fuck you're doing. You pop a urine sac, you just ruined a bunch of the meat. So
yep.
But you got to eat. Man's got to eat.
So far, sure, we don't know. Don't answer that.
Like Mikey. Just give it to Mikey. He'll eat it.
Yeah. Man, you are older than your years.
It's the time traveling, Carl.
Oh yeah,
He
I
goes
forgot.
back. He gets to relive all the fun stuff.
It's not
Rabbits are super easy to kill. For some reason, man, you just look at a rabbit wrong and it'll die. But the pheasants
had rabbit before.
You can take a pheasant and hold it on the ground with your two hands, all right, and hold it firmly to the ground with your thumbs together and push down and move your thumbs apart in a fast, hard method and the breast of a pheasant will pop right out into your hands, man. You don't even need a knife. You can have a fucking pheasant breast in like 30 seconds. Poof, it's in your hand, ready to go.
Ew.
I mean, ooh, that's a skill, girl. But
said
now I got
sweet.
another pheasant story, all right? Because this is like at M53 and M59, downtown Utica, just north of Detroit. Very busy intersection, right? Me and my buddy are sitting, at the intersection behind a vehicle that just hit a pheasant, all right? And the pheasant's flopping around in the middle of the intersection. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to get that pheasant. I jump out of the truck and I waited for traffic to pass by and I ran out there and I grabbed that pheasant. It was still kicking, all right. It was still moving around, flopping and shit, but it wasn't going to make it and I knew it. And I didn't even think about it, man. I grabbed the pheasant and I twisted its neck and kind of snapped it and turned around to go back to the truck. And that's when I see a line of cars in both lanes
Hey,
with all these looks on these people's
thanks
faces.
a
Their
lot, buddy.
mouths are gaping wide open and there's kids
Thank
crying
you.
and all that shit. It was like, whoops. I shouldn't have done that in front of all these people. I didn't even know they were watching. Didn't even think about what was behind us.
Thanks a
What
lot, buddy.
what I do? What I do?
I don't know.
Sorry about that.
I don't know. We just went to a place. I don't know. Dang.
That's okay. Blame me. I got tough skin.
Hey, my ma was a good pheasant hunter. We had a couple of hers mounted on the walls when I was growing up and shit. She was good at skeet shooting and stuff.
I love skeet shooting.
Yeah. I bet you guys didn't know this. I gave mine away because, like I said, I tried to like lighten my library. But I had a book. It's called the Roadkill Cookbook. That really exists. You should look that one up.
We sold them in the gift shop at the restaurant that I worked at.
Oh, cool.
Roadkill
That
recipes.
sounds like a cool gift shop if it had that book.
It was. I ordered everything.
Aha!
Had fudge, honey, local honey.
Yeah, killing chickens ain't no fun either. I got tired of killing chickens. That was a chore as a kid. I don't even want to kill any chickens anymore. Ever get chickens, they're going to be egg layers.
What's a flagino?
This is one of the trick questions, isn't it?
I have no idea. I probably don't even want to know.
Well, I think it's Canadian language, and maybe it's supposed to be flamingo. I don't know.
Just not even going to think about it. It's probably, yeah.
That's another thing. See, it's like everything has either something dark or weird or fucking. Did you know about the flamingo thing, man? Because I just found about this a few years ago. I didn't know anything about it, because you see all them little pink flamingos in people's yards, especially retired folks and stuff living out in Florida and stuff. You
Hey,
know about those? Right? Did you know there's some symbolism going on there? Do you know about the symbolism?
what's that? What happened? I don't even know.
I've heard people say it. I've heard a couple people say it. It's like it means they're swingers.
Oh, yeah, the flamingos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, if they got the flamingos and the pineapples, yeah, that's pretty much a dead giveaway, dude.
Well,
They're swinging with no playground.
I had them both, and thankfully, I didn't have a line of people
Well,
knocking
maybe
on.
it's not for everybody. You know? Did you get a lot of Christmas cards from people you didn't know?
I don't think that that's a worldwide knowledge, thankfully.
No, I'm just kidding. That's allegedly. That's what somebody told me. They was like, "Hey, you know what? I don't know. At some point, I was like, "What's up with the pineapples?" Or something. Somebody had the pineapples. I said, "What's up? Why is they got the pineapples on the columns and stuff?" And they said, "Oh, you don't know about the pineapples?" They said, "Well, they got the pineapples and stuff outside. They're swingers." He said, "Especially if they got the pineapple flag hanging, you definitely know something's going down." So
Well,
I
Cole, you're
don't
too
know.
young. You got to get to a certain age before you learn certain parts of this shit. That's just the way
Oh,
that
I'm
is.
still learning a lot
Right.
older.
We're always going to be learning. Imagine the shit you get to learn when you're like 110. If you get to live to 110, they probably tell you a lot of stuff we can't even dream of.
Think about it. When do you ever see them eating pineapple? Why are they promoting this much pineapple?
I
Yeah,
eat
it's gotta
less
be.
pineapple, pineapple juice, roasted pineapple. So
Now, wait a
good.
minute. You're saying it out loud. Are you saying that for code now? Because now you're going to make the whole internet go, wait, I didn't know Bonnie was a swinger. Wow.
Just a swinging.
There is a song. There is one, isn't there? And she was
Yes.
swinging.
Yeah, there are exceptions, I guess. I don't know.
Y'all will
Oh,
never
God. That's
know.
another thing. You got to be careful what flamingos you walk up on, because, like Vicky said, there's a lot of gays in Florida too.
Well, yeah, the whole flamingo lawn ornament thing. Who knows?
I'm still growing pineapples, darn it. I don't care what it means.
I think I heard somebody say once that pineapple was their safe word.
Somebody probably did. Yeah, they probably did. No doubt.
Well, wasn't there an Operation Pineapple
Oh,
even?
I'm sure. I'm
Well,
sure
there
there
was
was an
pineapple.
Operation
Yeah.
It
Pineapple.
was an Operation everything else.
Might as well.
Well, there was a Pineapple Express. All right, there's a movie called Pineapple Express. It's about a weed strain, a really good weed strain, and it's a funny
Oh,
movie, and it's kind of like a cult classic now. And it's hard to find, but last year I actually found original Pineapple Express at one of these weed stores, and it was the real deal, man. It was good. It didn't last long either. When they get something that good, it's gone in a hurry.
Yeah, I know, right? Just start questioning reality. Like, how did I get here? What happened? You know, should I really have made that detour home?
I
Nope.
think that's part of the lesson is that you got to learn that you got to question everything.
But if you can't have a relationship of trust, there's no relationship.
Absolutely true. I found that to be factual.
Who are we
Fact,
trusting?
true.
What are we trusting?
I trust God. 100% I trust God. I can say that right now. And I trust people to varying degrees of, different varying degrees. I trust people, you know.
Well,
Sometimes it'll bite you right in the ass. Yeah. You knew I was a snake and you still picked me up. Yeah, that shit happens.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess that's part of the lesson too. Somebody asked me, I think that's what life's about, lessons and tests. That's what it feels like.
Just conducting a social experiment. Don't mind me right now.
There's a time in Germany, married or not, doesn't matter, that it's like they can run rampant. I don't know if it's one night, 1 week. I don't know, but
It's
I know
like
the
that,
military.
like the Amish Rosh Hashanah or whatever they do, where they given a you get to a certain age and they're allowed to go run amok.
Yeah, you might have to give them a week. Yeah, you just can't give them a night. They might overdo it in one night. You know, they try to do too much in one night.
I'm thinking it's one night, but the
Oh
military
man,
guys
that's tough.
loved it. It
But I
Anything
don't know.
goes, no holds
Lord
barred,
knows.
free for all. I don't know, man. I think I'm just going to stay home that night.
Well, it's a thing there.
Huh.
Nah, I've only ever needed one woman. All right, I can't even imagine trying to please two of them. What the fuck am I trying to get into?
It ain't too bad. Just hope the birthdays ain't around the same time. You know,
Love you.
The Rum Springer. There it is, Sigma. Thank you. That's when the Amish get all freaky.
I don't know.
Oh, well, I don't know what it's called in Germany.
Probably Friday night, Saturday night, or something like that.
Huh? Must be a coming of age.
Right.
No, it's any age, married or not, and they can go and do whatever they want. Their
Oh, like a
whole
hall pass or a mulligan. They get one mulligan.
Like Eskimos. You know, if you go Eskimos, they're like they'll loan you a couple of their daughters or something, and you just go to sleep with them. It's like welcome on in, have a gal, take her to the
Man, you
igloo.
better hope you play yours at the right time. You know, you don't want to play it too soon.
uh, I can't imagine that. I mean, that is a total lack of value
Well, I don't
of
know. It could be like
a
the
woman.
Mongolian, Bonnie, where you know you're like Genghis Khan, and you come into this village and say, "All right, you're going to give me your prettiest daughter, so my son can marry her, or we're going to wipe your village out." But if you do this, then your daughter becomes a princess, and then now you're privy to all the royal benefits, and we'll protect you and feed you, and it'll be cool.
I don't think you get to do all that in 24 hours.
Well, I don't know. That's just
Shoot.
saying. There's been a lot of strange customs and things that have happened throughout our history.
Oh, yeah. Arrangements, different arrangements.
Uh-huh. The mating rituals on this planet are fucking weird, what?
Humans, they are an interesting species.
Well, it's no wonder in the old days that women didn't like extracurricular activities.
Well, yeah, men didn't even know where the buttons were. They didn't even know how to push them. So, yeah, there was a lot of weird. It was just mating to them, you know?
There's too many buttons, man. They wore a lot of clothes, you know? Man, there was buttons in the front, the back, the side.
Petticoats,
Man, petticoats, proper coats, undercoats.
pantaloons.
Yeah, baballoons. It's too much.
Well, I guess I'm pretty thankful for the clothing
Now
styles
all we
of the
just got is tank top and yoga pants. You know what I mean? We completely transcended.
Jerry's right about that too, man. The inbreeding in the royal families, you could actually see it in
Yep.
some of the old paintings and stuff. You'd see, like, you know, they look like the same dude, maybe with a little bit of Down syndrome.
Yeah, when you start looking into their history and seeing what was going on, yeah, it was some bad stuff.
And I think that's why they created the mental institutions, because a lot of the inbred people had totally messed up systems.
Oh,
They
I'm
were
You know,
sure, yeah.
a lot of that shit just messes me up. Like the fact that high heels were worn by men first, you know, and they had white wigs and shit on, and it's like, man, what kind of fucking
they were
little weirdos were they?
transported.
You know,
Yeah, it's too
dandies.
much.
Yeah, some little dandy boy is kind of familiar with what we got going on in this world, but you know, but the problem that I hate about it is fucking women look great in them. It's just the origin of them things is twisted.
Yeah, I don't know.
Eh,
I don't
I'd rather
appreciate it. It's too hot. It's too hot for all that type of stuff, man. You
right.
know,
I'd rather be barefoot than wear heels.
you can dress up if you want to. You know, if that's your cup of tea. What?
Well, I'm a leg man, so you know I've always appreciated that. The gams always get my attention first.
Pretty sure you can order a powdered wig somewhere. Extra powder.
I don't need to wig, but a Shield cosplay for me, that'd be cool.
Oh, dude, they got a cosplay item for everything.
I know,
They got the whole Benjamin Franklin starter kit. You know what I mean?
right? Right down to the kite.
Oh yeah, comes with its own kite. Yep, kite, key, little rope. Hmm.
Yeah, there's no telling about that. And in actuality, my father, he was born in Detroit, and my grandmother died at his birth, and she was a native gal that got pregnant by a drunkard Scottish man that came from Canada into Detroit, got her pregnant, and my dad was adopted after that. But yeah, who knows? You know, who knows what your ancestor did? What kind of tomfoolery they were up to? Nobody knows what happened to the dude. Can't find any hiding or hair of him. Probably drowned in the ship or something.
Skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, sometimes it's easier to research history on certain families versus others. You know,
Oh, there's a clear sign of that with mine. It's like on my mother's side of the family, it's all documented. You know, all the way to I know my great grandfather Zebedee is buried at the base of a mountain in North Carolina. He was
Zebedine.
born Zebedee, and he was born in 1706, died in 1786.
Man, that's an old school name. It's like Zebediah.
Yeah, Zebedee is also in the Bible, but they anyway. Just I can't find anything much before that, but I know that it goes to Scotland after that, and I know I've found because of my family for 100 years kept track of this shit. I was able to find even the clans and stuff that some of the family probably came from in Scotland and stuff. Because
How about that?
I'm half
I
Scottish
could see
and
you
half
running
Irish.
wild out there in Scotland.
Well, I am. I mean, if my mom was, you know, Cherokee and Scottish, and my dad was Cherokee and Scottish, doesn't that make me half and half?
I think you need to make that happen. You know, you just need to go run wild in Scotland for a little while, see what
What?
happens.
Someday I'll post a picture of my sisters. What? Both of them look, you know, dark complected, long dark hair. They look like Indians. All right, they got that side of the pole there. I got my father's looks. But I've got no hair on my chest, just like an Indian. But I also got the
Mhm.
bald head and the beard like a Scottish man. So it's like,
There we go. If I become president, I'll make you the ambassador to Scotland. That'll be your position. There you go. I think the pay sucks, but you get free travel. So there you go.
I come to realize something years ago, Watt, that neither one of my ancestors wore pants.
So have you ever looked up the crest for your family?
I've seen clan stuff. I don't remember the crest.
Hmm.
Actually, my family goes back to a clan called Macaulay. They wore olive drab kilts, by the way, which I thought was cool.
Well, usually there's a crest and colors for that clan.
It was an olive drab plaid. I remember that. It's been quite a few years since I looked at it. So I know that if you were Scottish back in those days, you were leaving for a reason. They came here for freedom. I know that much.
Yeah. Guess what? If you go to Hungary, okay, if you are married to a Hungarian, you go to Hungary, you can become a Hungarian citizen in one day. And it's free. Free. You don't have to
I
pay
would hope.
thousands of dollars to these attorneys and doctors and everybody that you have to go through here. It is completely different in
Well, with a country
Britain.
like that, what's the
It's every
benefits? What would be the benefit to go into a country named Hungary? Do they feed you really well?
They grow their food. They know what's up. I don't know.
I bet they make good sausage somehow.
Hmm. A lot of pork.
I don't know if I've ever had Hungarian food. I've heard about it, you know.
My son-in-law makes it pretty good.
I have to agree with Becky. I'm going to stay an American. I don't, I'm not giving up my.
Well, I'm not going to another country either. I just found it interesting that
It
it's
is interesting.
easy to become a citizen in another country.
I did look some of that up some years back. In fact, I was looking to see what it would take for an American to be able to move to Mexico because I was wondering why they kept that border open and what it would be like if we tried to do that shit. And what I found was, well, if you decide to go into Mexico, first you better let them know because if they catch you there, you're probably going to end up in jail. If they know you're coming and you have, the blessings of the, embassy or whatever you're going to do, maybe buy property there. From that moment on, you're not allowed to send any money out of the country. You are to spend your money within the country, and it's going to be costly. And there's like all these things that you're not allowed to do if you go there that they've been doing here without restraint.
That's because it's connected to America. Canada's probably this close to the same. I guarantee it. But if you go over across the pond to anywhere, check those countries to see what it takes.
All right.
A lot of
Well,
water.
I'm 100% going to stay an American for many, many reasons. But I was back when they were pushing that sovereign citizen stuff. I thought to myself, no, I'm going to stay where I'm at, see where it comes out. What's up, Eric?
Evening.
Hey, Eric. Hmm.
Yeah, it's getting to be spring and summertime. I can't go nowhere. There's too much here I might miss.
There's way too much I have not seen within the United States for me to go elsewhere. I want to see the rest of the state.
Yeah. That's what I just want to see right here. I know there's a lot of secrets and a lot of places. Snooping. I'm going snooping. It stinks. So this was a 2-week or more trip planned that I planned. I get a week, and I'm like, okay, hold up, because I'm thinking taking it slow. Now it's like,
Yes, even camping. But
how long
it's
can I
like,
sit in the car?
well, it's like even I really want to go spend some time in the woods. At a campground, maybe at state property, something. But for
You're in
me,
the
I
woods.
don't. I don't want to do it for a couple days. I don't want to do it for the weekend. I want 2 weeks, maybe even longer. I want to be able to set my whole setup up, put up my big tent, move into that place, and do nothing for days. You know, it's just not worth it. Really, it doesn't feel worth it to go do it for the weekend. I mean, I'll do it in the truck, do it like that. Maybe set a little tent up. But for me to set up my whole camp and really enjoy it, I want some time in the woods, man, with nothing over my head that I have to do. I want the time to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with traveling. I want to be able to snoop around.
How long does it take you to get out of Texas?
Oh gosh. Um, at least 6 hours. It
Okay.
depends on the direction you're going. If I go north, it takes 7 hours.
Yeah. Dang, it takes you half a day to get out. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you got a bunch of kids with you, it takes 10. Because it took 10 hours to get to Texarkana. And I was like, what in the world?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
We went that way once through Texarkana. I
The
remember
more
doing.
people, the more stops.
Yeah, I gotta pee. I gotta pee. Are we there yet? We gotta pee.
Yes. And then you have to stop at a restaurant and sit down and eat, be waited on. But that was back when it was affordable to do that. When we went to Kentucky, the lodge that I rented was $250 for a week. You can't find that anywhere now. No way.
Hmm.
The 2-bedroom lodge. And
That's why I got my own. I'll set it right up anywhere.
and I don't understand. You live that way every day. Why you would want to go into the woods and do the same thing?
Because I'm in an urban developed area with concrete all over and people in every direction. My goal would be to get as far away from all of that as I can.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time in the woods, Brian. This does not feel natural to me. 25 years of living up in the upper Michigan in the middle of nowhere spoiled the shit out of me. All right. I could go outside and blow up anything I wanted, shoot whatever I wanted all fucking day and night long, and they didn't hear me much, let care what the hell I was doing. And I loved it. All right. I had critters around me. I got pictures on this. Someday I'll get it somehow on here. But I mean, when you got 175 deer in your backyard and you can walk out and feed and water them and they don't all run away, or you got a bobcat that's sitting there watching you, you think you can't see him, but you can. That I love that shit, man. I miss it. I miss it a lot.
Well, me, it's the salty air. It's the it's the wind blowing off the ocean. It's watching the sunset on the ocean. It's looking at the ocean and not even being able to see anything on the other side. It's like on and
That
on
too,
and on.
that too is nature, Bonnie. I've done a couple short videos, but I like going to the coastline here on the big lakes. I did it on Huron and Lake Michigan or something. And there's actually my favorite state campsite here in Michigan, Bonnie. It's not very well known, and it's not easily accessible. There's no real big cities around it or nothing, but it's right on the coast of Lake Michigan, and it is state-owned property. And there's a little place to park and stuff. But this place, I could take and drive my truck along the beach up into the dunes, set up my tent, and have giant driftwood campfires on the beach all night long. It's really a different feel. I love that place, and nobody's ever messed with me. All right, so it's just when you find some place like that that you can be secluded enough to where you don't have kids running around making noise and somebody's dog getting into your shit or something. That's the part I like, is getting away from it all. I want to find some place where I know for certain there's no human eyes that are going to fall on me at any given time.
Oh, well, I gotta have the human interaction.
Well, it's
That's
nice
the
to do that
fun
once in a
part,
while.
meeting people from different states and listening to the different accents. And I'm going to be in southern Georgia where they have such a deep accent. Is like in Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama. And y'all think I have an accent? No, they got the accents.
Yeah, it's a
I love
different breed
America.
down there in Alabama's and them areas. Yeah.
I love America's accent. There's a lot of them, but it's not. I love that too, Bonnie. If I go to a state campground like the one I've been going to since the '60s down here, just down the road, uh, I'll talk to people and meet people. You're in a camp where you got people camped right next to you and stuff, and that's cool too. And actually, a lot of people go, "Hey man, I gotta check that tent out." I get a lot of that kind of shit. So people kind of, you know, are
Mm.
magnetized to my campground because of the way it looks. It looks different. My camp always looks different than everybody else's. Anyways, because I custom made everything. But I like that too. But there is the part I'm missing is like the connection with nature part. You know, that's the part I need. I need that therapy. That's therapy to me. To getting away from everybody as far as I can, to sit there doing nothing and watch what's going on around me. Comfortably. At this point in my life, I like to do it comfortably. I like mosquito nets. I like wood stoves. I like foam pads, that kind of shit.
There you go.
My kit, all right, it's got different phases. You got the truck. I can camp and live and stay in the truck and all that. But then I've got the main camp, which is my 15 by 15 by 10-foot tall pyramid custom tent that I made back in 2000. It's got all the comforts of home when it's set up. I got table, desk. I can make a queen size bed. I can put up to 4 cots up inside there. I got you know, the wood stove sets up in it. It completely mosquito proof. All that. Then I got a smaller tent that if I was to set up for a few days, another custom tent I made. I could still put a wood stove in it, but it's smaller and easier to carry and easier to backpack if I did that. But then you get down to where I've got bivy shelters, where if I was backpacking or just wanted to do a one night deal or even use it to sleep on the roof of the truck, then I've got a smaller kit that's easy to put away and easy to set up and easy to carry. So, and then right down to your survival pack or what's in your pockets if you needed it. But I like to go, if I went to a campsite, man, I'm going to set it all up. You know what I mean?
That's
There you
It
crazy.
go.
all.
Playing around.
That's crazy. If I want to go camping, I'm gonna get me a Class C and do it the right way. I'm gonna have a bed. I'm gonna have a toilet. I'm gonna have a shower. Just
That's
to
the
cover
new thing
the.
I'm working on. I have most of the parts. I just got to buy the copper tubing and stuff. And I got to find a tube bending kit to either borrow or somehow just get the pieces I need. Then I'm going to have a full working hot shower right off the back of this truck. I got the water pump. I'm going to make it heat 2 different ways, but then I've got the shower heads and I also need to get the car, those little cargo things that plug into your Reese hitches on the back of the trucks and stuff. I'm going to have one of them to use as a platform. So when the 2 back doors open, the canvas encloses you, and you can sit there and take hot showers right off the back of the truck.
Dang, 50 plus a night. Man. With no hydro.
Michigan State campsites here are $36 a night. Rustic even has electric, so they all got electric now. But unless you go to some of the sites that are really rural and don't have electric or anything. I've got when I got my license plates and tags, I always get the Michigan State Parks tag, so I can go to those parks in the daytime from the time 6 in the morning till 10 at night. You can be there anytime for free. Use the beaches or fish or anything like that.
Yeah, different areas, yeah.
The RV camping, it has gotten ridiculously high. I think it's about $70 a night where I was.
Dang.
Yep.
They actually are providing now in the Michigan State parks, you can rent a little cabin overnight, like right on a lakeside or something. This little miniature cabin.
Yes.
That's when they get a little pricey.
Well, not from what I've seen. When I look at Airbnbs, they're the same price, and you get a nice little house, washer, dryer, yard with the patio, lights, the games.
Yeah, for $80, I might as well just throw a little bit with it, get the Airbnb.
Yes.
Shoot, dang.
One of them that I looked at.
No wonder nobody's going camping anymore. Shoot, they can't afford it.
Yes.
What do you mean?
You gotta throw $100 bill just to park.
No. What do you mean, man? I've been camping for 6 years straight. I want to go hoteling.
No. I know what you mean. I mean, there's things to it, but it's all the fees and different things.
No, I'm ready to do breakfast things. I'm ready to get down with a fucking cabin or something like that with a hot shower and a queen size bed and fresh, clean fucking multi-thread count sheets and shit. I'm ready for that.
There you go.
It's kind of a goal of mine too.
Yurts are a thing around here too. It's about the same, but they make them nice, like queen size bed, the candles, the rugs. They're really
up some for that shit because I know I'm not going to want to leave right away. I'm going to want to be there a few days, so it's going to be costly.
Oh yeah, they got the yurt set up around here on the river. It's pretty nice. Yeah, you got plenty of room in there.
I had this little Mongolian guy. He's just about 40 miles away from here. He came in here, I don't know, 15 years ago or something. And no, it's been longer. It's been almost 20 years. And he says, Carl, can you do this? I'm like, what do you got? He says, it's a yurt. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Anyways, he took me out to his property. He had one set up, and he had like his mother-in-law or something living out behind the barn in one. He's like, I want to build some more, and I made him these custom yurts out of this. It's called Herculite. This fabric is the shit that they use on gravel tarps and shit for, semi truck. It's super thick, super tough, synthetic fabric that you don't have to treat. It'll never rot. The sun can't fuck with it. None of that. Anyways, I made him these super yurts. And I'll be damned. I went by there last year, and they're still standing there, man. This is a real Mongolia, man. He's got them decked out too, man. The yurt is pretty cool. You ever see those? I'm sure you guys remember them. Those kids' gates, the baby gates that they used to have that like scissored open. They were wood,
Yes.
They like scissor. Well, a yurt is one of those great big long ones. If it's a real big yurt, it'd be like 120 foot of baby gate. and they scissor it open and connect it to the door from each side, and it stands on its own, right? Well, then from that point, how they make the hole in the peak is they use cables these days, but they'd use a really strong line that would go to that ring for the hole in the peak and back to that. And the more they did, the more you put it together, the stronger the thing gets. It becomes like a structure of a bridge. So it supports itself, and any kind of resistance against it actually strengthens it for the resistance. It's a cool design.
Are they
Very
round?
Yes, they're round, and they are actually ancient. The Mongolians came up with that because they were nomads. They wanted to take most of their home with them. And you could take all.
Yep, that's what I wanted to build here, but not with fabric out of wood. Is a yurt, because for one thing, they're like wind resistant because they're round.
Right, but the structure inside is wood, but they're covered with the fabric, the traditional yurt. It's
okay.
a lightweight, neat design that's self-supporting without a center pole. They don't even have any tent poles inside. It's completely open.
Yeah. Yep. I really like yurts. And
I've made yurts. I got pictures of them, and I also made teepees. I made the traditional full-size teepees and everything. I got pictures of, with 40-foot poles and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we have some teepees around here that you can stay in, too.
Yep, I actually worked for a summer for him, Benzie Canoe Rental up in the north of Michigan there, and how I met the guy was he hired me to make he had smaller teepees, but he hired me to make some bigger ones, and they were there for years where they would let you go there for a canoe rental and camp out overnight and stuff. You could also rent one of the teepees. I slept in a couple of times. They're cool.
Yeah.
My tent that I designed, that pyramidal roof, 15 by 15 by 10 foot tall, it's kind of got some of the concepts of a teepee in it, because military tents, all of them have the wood stove jacks where they put the wood stoves. They're all on the wall, all right? And I wanted a tent that I could put the wood stove in the center like a teepee, because then the heat is evenly distributed through the tent, all right? And the draft works properly. So in a teepee, if you were to set up your campfire inside of a teepee and you completely sealed the tent off, you probably won't even be able to light the fire. If you don't have a draft or an input to that for oxygen to the fire, it's hard to light. It'll smoke. It won't work right. So I made my tent. It's a military fabric and kind of military style in the way it's made, but I've got 2 stovepipe jacks in the ceiling or the peak of the pyramid roof, and I got perfect pie measurements on the roof. I did a perfect pyramid, and that way I can have the wood stove on either side of the tent. All my wood stove jacks are also double as windows. They got Velcro. I can put clear in them. I can put mosquito net in them. I can put a wood stove jack in them. I could also put it on the wall if I wanted. But now the heat's always all evenly distributed to the center of the tent, and it's a much more efficient design.
Yeah.
Definitely. You got to have it where you're at, for sure.
You guys got me talking about tentage.
Imagine that.
I think I'm going to jump down. I'm feeling the day is catching me now. I'm going to jump down, and thank you very much for having me up here, Waz. It's always a blast.
Falling asleep, Carl?
No, I'm kind of almost got a headache. I think I've been talking too much. I have to slow down on that.
Hey, I was just about to reveal the big breaking news. I guess I'll wait till next time.
Oh, all right. I mean, like breaking news happens like every 10 minutes nowadays, right?
That's how
Right.
breaking it is. It's continuous. It's a continuous fracture.
But wait, we didn't get the breaking news from the last live.
That's I know. It just we'll have to just double up on the next one. It's too much. We didn't get to
I
everything
love
just
you
tonight.
guys. I love y'all, and I'll see you somewhere soon.
Take care, Carl.
Finna go put
Yeah.
another log on the fire.
Really?
Could be. I don't know. Depends on how cold it is there.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to, and I was going to say,
Shoot,
well,
no.
kind of warm.
Shoot, it's no shoes, no shirt, no problem around here.
Right?
At least for the current moment.
Yeah. You should have heard my son-in-law when I said I wanted a yurt. And, what? Are you crazy? And he just went off. And I said, do you know what a yurt is? Well, he's from Hungary. Of course he does.
Oh man, he's anti-yurt.
Yeah.
What a guy. What a guy this is, you know? Just when you thought there was hope, he's anti-yurt.
No, there's no hope. No.
I don't know. Maybe he'll be all right. Maybe he'll learn to love it.
Oh, he's gonna learn. We butt heads. Oh my goodness. But every day he's all, what are we doing today? Like, okay, well, we need to go here and here. And he just rides along and
Hopefully he's taking notes. You know?
hopefully. He's not too bad. It's just they just have different ways. And that's the thing is you want to be an American, this is how you be an American. Forget your ways there. He can
Does he have
still
a
cook.
native language?
Yes, yes. And it is so funny because I can't understand a word of it. It's
Yeah, the language barrier's tough.
yeah. It's not Russian. It's like a it's probably a mixture.
I could imagine that type of dialect from that region, you know. I know
Yeah,
some things probably sound similar, you know.
yeah,
Some things definitely not, but yeah, I could imagine.
yeah. I think it's the same with Romania. All in that area, they kind of have their own. It's kind of like Mexico at the border. It's a different Spanish than the further south you go is true
Yeah,
Spanish. And
different
so
states, different regions, yeah.
yeah, and so they kind of put in their own slang as you get closer to the border. And
Yeah. If you don't know that language, you would think it would all probably be the same, but to somebody that knows it, they can tell the difference, you know.
yeah,
Spanish or uh, maybe certain regions over there where your son-in-law's from, you know, to maybe for us to hear it, you know, they would sound similar, but he could tell you, hey, this is from so and so. These people is from they're speaking Romanian, you know.
mm-hmm. True, Jerry. Trust is earned. Yeah.
The house that overlooked the cemetery. How about that?
And then so she was saying people sleep out there, and it's like, I don't know about that. But then I kind of get it. Well, I don't know. No, not if it's a perfect stranger. Um, I mean, some of the family they'll put a blanket down beside my daughter, and because she's on the end, so it's not like you're on someone else's grave or anything.
Yeah.
And they'll have lunch there. Or, I don't know. I can't do that. It. No, I'm not at that point. But um, I am getting the little bench to put at the end and sit there. It looks so much better with the headstone. That was a major.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good everything came into place to make that happen.
Yeah. Mm. But all of the family now is like, I'm gonna be cremated. Well, just put me on a boat, lay me on a boat, and push it off to sea, and I'll be happy.
There you go. Just float it out till you make it to the Bermuda Triangle.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah. I think that if the growth keeps going the way it's going, I don't know. That's just something. I guess ever since that hurricane, when I saw the caskets floating away, and I thought, oh my goodness, you know, that's somebody's loved one. Just, oh
Night,
no.
Jerry. Have a blessed
Still,
one.
night, Jerry. But I
You
don't know about going in an oven either. I don't know. It's a,
don't know. I guess some people, could just view cremation as a way. I guess because I mean it's obviously a lot more cheaper. You know, as far as from that standpoint, the financial standpoint.
yeah,
You know.
it is. And it's, well, like I have my grandmother and my mother and my father. And so they're here with me. Um, it's a lot easier to do a celebration of life than it is a funeral service. Easier mentally and emotionally. But I don't know. I just see them running out of space in cemeteries, and the way they're building, and you know how long before well, that place Carl was talking about, that they built a highway over on top of the cemetery, and it's like, I don't, I don't know. That just doesn't seem right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just too much. You know,
Yep.
trying to do too much at one time.
Yeah.
That happened here locally. Um, not exactly like that, but in a similar way. They were developing a piece of property that had just been there for, I mean, years and years and years, and it just finally kind of got broken up to a certain point, you know.
Hmm.
And they were cleaning out some woods to build a subdivision, and they unearthed some headstones and some old grave markers and stuff. And then, of
Oh
course, at that
no.
point when that was found, you know, they got to uh, the whole crew's got to come in, whoever they are, and they come in and investigate. So yeah, they ended up, I forget how many they ended up finding right there that just it got covered up, lost in time, and forgotten. But
Dang.
they marked a bunch of that off and built like a uh little fence, a little brick fence like around everything. But still, I'm thinking, man, they could at least, you know, maybe move the neighborhood over. It's kind of like not really in the middle of the neighborhood, but it's like there. When you come in, you notice it. You know, it just kind of sticks out. You're like, what is this here?
Yeah. And then you start thinking, poltergeist. Yeah, no. The ranch that we first moved into, um, when we moved to the country, there was this little old cemetery, ancient old, and it was fenced off with a chain link fence. And all the tombstones are in German, but you can see the dates. And um, but they were cool. To get something built like that nowadays would cost a fortune.
Mm.
I don't know how they did it back then in the old days, because they have some beautiful markers that are more like a statue type thing.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. There's a bunch of those style in my
yeah,
area as well. Some real detailed, especially
yeah,
like some like during maybe like the Revolutionary War or maybe the Civil War. I mean, there's some that's got like the statues with like a flag like draped over it, you know, and
hmm,
it's pretty detailed now, you know. Still to think of whatever wear and tear it's had over the years, you know, it still looks pretty sharp.
yeah, and not a statue of a person, just like a more like a monument.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Not necessarily a person. Yeah,
yeah,
it could have been
that's
a yeah.
I love to go to those, um, where we go fishing down at the coast. The cemetery there, I go through there and I'm taking pictures of the tombstones. A lot of them um, were sea captains or fishermen, or um, it's just neat to see years and years ago.
Yeah, different lifestyle, you know.
Yep.
Might have been people that lived in that area and that was their job, or maybe they weren't even from there, you know. They was just they didn't
Yeah.
have nobody. They was just out there on the waters, and that's where something happened, you know. So that's where they laid them down.
Yep. Yeah. Some of them have um, names you can tell are from other countries, like a French name or a um, I don't know, Scottish, whatever. It's it's pretty cool.
That's how that one I was just talking about was. There was so many trees around it and so much kudzu and stuff. You would have never known that those tombstones and grave markers was in there until you cleared all that stuff out. You know, there ain't no way you could see it. You couldn't even walk through there.
Mm,
I mean, they even got like some of the cemeteries or like some of the churches down on the river. They got like the concrete structures. You know, they're not really in the ground just in case it floods. You know,
Yes, I've seen that.
Like the mausoleums or whatever they call them.
Hmm.
That might not be the correct name. I don't know.
Um,
Crypts.
yeah. Crip sounds right. Or, but there's something with an M too. Excuse me, losing my voice again.
I don't know.
And that's, I think some of those that look like this, maybe the size of a shed. I think that they put several family members inside of those. I've seen where you can have something made with the ashes in cement, like mixed together and molded into whatever you want.
Huh. Man, I don't know.
One of my
Too good.
friends, they're building more reefs down off of the Florida Keys, and so they'll let people put their ashes there, and that's where she wanted to be, so the fish could go in and out of there, and she'd be part of it. Hmm. Vaults till the ground thaws. I heard something about them freezing you till whenever. Take care, Lauren. Yeah, we went in a dark place.
Mm.
Are you falling asleep?
Now I had to go get something to drink right quick.
Oh, okay.
I
We'll
got
talk.
sidetracked by the moon. It's pretty bright tonight still.
I know. It's been so pretty. What's happy stuff to you, Vicky?
I don't know. Hoping to go find a bargain or a good deal tomorrow at this sale.
Cool.
I don't really
That's
think it's like an estate sale. I think it's like a neighborhood yard sale. And it's in one of them pretty kind of nice neighborhoods, you know.
yeah. Well, that's after seeing those prices at that store today. I'm like, I need to start looking on Facebook because I want a wash tub so I can wash the dog in it, or wash tubs are good for everything. It's like a necessity. And um, I don't know, there's just some things that would be helpful. I need some outdoor cooking pots, the big ones for canning, water
Yeah,
bathing.
yeah. You probably could get some luck in maybe those or those type of
Hmm.
deals. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
If
it's
I go
like
in
I
the
think that's
safe,
technically like the first weekend of the month. Usually you can find stuff like that. Usually yard sales and stuff like that's happening.
yeah,
But shoot, I remember sometimes on the weekends with my granddad, if it was like the first weekend of the month, sometimes before we'd go to the flea market, they used to have in the newspaper sometimes that people was having yard sales and stuff, and He'd read the newspaper and he'd have all the places memorized, and he knew how to get there. You know, sometimes he'd buy some stuff, sometimes he wouldn't. You know,
Yeah.
but he knew what to look for.
Well, my buying at those sales has drastically changed. That's where I got my compound bow, or tools, or fishing stuff, hunting stuff, just camping stuff, whatever. It's y'all changed me, because it used to be the different colored glass, and but especially now that I moved here, there's nowhere to put anything like that. Unless I start sticking shelves up all over the walls, which might be a good thing, to put some color on the walls without painting.
Just be careful.
Right? Don't put it over your headboard. Never know what can fall.
Yeah, no telling. I ain't really looking for nothing in particular. I know they've been posting about this one for a while, so they should have some pretty good stuff for sale.
What's a junkyard?
Shoot, it's whatever you want it to be. It could be
We
a
don't,
little or a lot. It could be like Sanford and Son.
well, we don't have any junkyards. Surplus, I'd probably have to go into San Antonio. Yeah, we don't have stuff like that. We have some general stores that
No flea markets.
aren't too far away. Well, see, and that's where I'm at now. There's not really anything close by. They're fixing to have a lavender festival. Well, that's 15 miles away, but it's not that far.
I got you.
But I don't really like lavender. I know a lot of people are really crazy about it, but I'm not real crazy about it. They put it in everything. They put it in cookies. They put it in bread. They I don't know. I guess if you have a love for it, you have a love for it.
I mean, I'll put some out. I got some seeds. I'll put some out in like different pots and stuff, you know. The bees and the stuff love it. I know wherever I put it at, the hummingbirds, they love it too. Even if I put something out there for them, they'll go find them.
Yeah. See,
They
that's
like
the
to
way
get
they
them a
do.
little hit of that, whatever they, you know.
That's the way they do the sage. When I planted sage, it was like that. The butterflies, bees, they were all over it.
Yeah, I try to put them in little different areas so they can find it, you know. Maybe eventually get from one to another.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bees, and man, they're everywhere. They're already out everywhere.
Here too. And
The
pollen.
honeybees and the carpenter bees.
Yes. I just walk out on the deck and all of a sudden they're buzzing around my head. And I'm like, go away. There was a big monarch butterfly bouncing around. But it almost hit me in the face when it first came up. And I was like, well, hello. And then it just started kind of bouncing around on the ground and fluttering around us while I was outside looking at the wash tubs and stoves and all the stuff they had there. They had some metal rings at the back that looked like they had been used, but they were still intact and looked good to me. And they're hollow. And so I was trying to find out a price on that. And by the time we got back outside, they were gone. And I was like, what happened? Just because I was asking about it, I guess somebody just snatched it up.
Yeah, it's
And
like that. I think it was it last weekend. I was going to the flea market, and I seen one of those like little metal type feeders that you would use for animals, and it was sitting out there with a bunch of other stuff. And I said, "Dang, it looked like in good shape, even if the bottom was messed up. You could still use it for like a raised planter, raised garden." But yeah, my whole travels of going to the flea market and stuff, I forgot which little side road I seen it on. And I said, damn, heck, by the time I figure it out, somebody gonna be done got it by now.
yeah,
Because the sides and everything was good. I got close enough where I could see it, but even if the bottom was bad, you still could use it.
yep.
But yeah, I forgot which little side road I seen it on.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, milkweed. Yeah, they butterflies and stuff love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was out there going through the grow bags that I have. It, everything, it's such a mess out there. So I'm trying to get it all straightened up and start seeing spiders and things coming out of there. And I was
There
like,
you go. It's a good
oh,
sign.
I'll wait until I get some work gloves and maybe have some better shoes on before I do this.
No, you just got to go out there barefoot, barehanded. Just seize spring. Just pick it up.
No, we got recluse and black widows and not nice spiders. Yeah, Vicky, they like to hide in those type of things. That's I haven't touched my barbecue pit yet. I need to look up under there because that's where the red wasps like to nest, is underneath metal for some reason.
Oh yeah, go ahead and get all that cleaned out now. Yeah,
Yep.
you don't want to wait till the day of the barbecue and find a whole hive in there.
No.
Yeah, we're taking the barbecue inside, family. Change of plans. We got a whole infestation.
I do need to get some chickens when we get back from the trip. I was looking at the coops and they're so small and so expensive. And my son in law was like, why don't I just build one? And I said, why don't you? So he might. We're talking about there's several outbuildings out here. And one of the metal sheds, he was talking about taking the roof off of it and turning it into a greenhouse. Would that work? You think?
How big is the shed?
It's like I don't know, what was the size back in the day? 8 by 6, maybe.
Yeah, you could do it. I mean, I
Eight,
don't see why you couldn't.
8 by 8, 10 by 10. The metal
Yeah, you
shed.
could do it with any size. Yeah, if you change
Yeah,
the roof into a different style roofing, seal it all up.
yeah. That's
Uh,
what we were gonna put some 2 by 4 as a like
this
take the
time of the
roof.
year, it would stay at a pretty much a certain temperature for whatever you wanted to grow. You know, maybe in the winter when it got a little lower or something, maybe, I don't know, you could have like a little heater or something out there.
Yeah.
Depends on what you had going on. But yeah, you definitely could do that.
That's what I
Then look
told him.
up and see how big you want the chicken coop. Of course, you're going to want it, high enough where they could at least fly up, and roost on something,
Yes.
figure up how much it's going to take, your material, what you're going to use, chicken wire or whatever you're going to use to like wrap it or secure it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you got like hawks or any of things like that out in your area,
Yes, we do.
you know.
Hawks and snakes. And so
Yeah.
it's the
It's the good thing
it's
about building it how you want it, just seeing how much it's going to cost for everything.
mm-hmm.
If you do it yourself, I mean, you ain't got nothing in it but material, your time to do it. Like you
Yeah.
can build it in a day, half a day, depending on, how elaborate it is.
Yeah. And he's talking about building a greenhouse, and then I showed them it's kind of like your setup for your vegetables. And so
Oh yeah, you could build it however you want to. It wouldn't take much.
yeah, that's what I
Shoot.
was telling them. We just need some goat panel, a few
Yeah, you
goat.
can get you some of them, yeah, a couple of them, and some wood to brace it up. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
probably get that at Tractor Supply. Goat panel and chicken wire. Two necessities. I already got the wire and the twine and all that. It's just the other things.
Yeah, it don't take much. Just your vine and stuff. You just want to make sure you have a good support where they can grow up.
Yes. We'll see, Cheryl. I haven't seen it built yet. He talks about doing a lot, but still waiting.
Let's see. We shall see.
Yes. I have faith in him. But his work will pick up in the summer, so we're trying to get everything done as fast as we can before he's unavailable a lot. I still haven't heard nothing from my daughter. I'll text her. So she is so bad about giving me reports.
Oh, about a wrist.
Yes.
Mm.
Because I know that there's this one little bone in your wrist that is pretty easily damaged. Like, even if you are helping somebody stand up, and if you just pull their hand, it does something to that little bone. Like, that's usually why you would do like a handshake and each be doing the same thing. I've seen it with children too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Like a pressure point.
Yes.
Mm.
And so I'm thinking maybe I don't know, or she just jammed it good.
Too many backflips.
Yeah. But we thought it was getting better, and she did the dishes tonight, and it really set it off. And that's when she was like, okay, I got to go get it checked out. 'Cause she's got the 3-year-old, and of course he wants to be picked up, and just picking up anything, she said it hurts pretty bad. She just needs to tell me what's up.
Yeah, take it easy for the next couple of days.
Yep.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as always, all good things must come to an end. I think we're gonna wrap this episode up for tonight. I appreciate everybody for being here.
Thank you for going live a lot.
It's the Freaky Friday. You never know what'll happen. It's still happening. We didn't even get the last update yet. We'll have to double up on the next one. I dropped the link in chat. If anybody wants to come back for a few minutes, that's okay. Got any final thoughts, concerns?
Thoughts or concerns? Just don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you see. Don't let it bring you down. It's all going to be okay.
Be all right. It will be all right.
I think so. Not feeling that. Uh-oh. I've heard some people say, wait for the other shoe to drop, but I'm just not feeling it. I don't know. Maybe
See
my
what
feelers
happens.
are off. Yep.
See what Saturday brings. Well, y'all stay blessed. Have a blessed Saturday. We will see you sometime soon. Until next time, everybody.
Night, y'all.
Was taking the extended version. It's the long ride home.